Welcome. You're now tuned into the Boxing Voice. Theboxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice. Today is going to be your Errol Spence Jr. devastating performance, knocking out Leonard Bundu. We're going to be taking your calls and more. So if this is something that you're interested in, definitely stick around. We will also be talking Big Baby Miller getting a little bit disrespectful to the one, the only Bomb Squad. You know we got to address that.
Boxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold a record for pay-per-view.
My drop, I know my drop, I know my situation. I want part of
Massive production.
but it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
Boxingvoice.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into this really quick. Errol Spence Jr. looking fantastic. We're going to head on over to the one and only Jamison Rocket. It's been so long. Where have you been, my friend?
Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Boxing fans, here's Jamison.
Digging the new intros. You know, we got new intros, and there's a new player in the welterweight division. I've been saying it for years. Errol Spence, the truth. It's not just a nickname. And I'm finally glad that people are on my side a little bit. And we're all getting to see a little bit more clearly now that the rain is gone.
I mean, he definitely put on a spectacular performance. I wanted him to perform in this fashion. I wanted him to get the KO, but I didn't really think he can do it. I mean, it's definitely comes down to game plan, though, James. It's not necessarily power. I think that he just has a better game plan to stop his fighter by always attacking that body the way that he does.
Yeah, I mean, when Bundu came out, you could see that the first minute of the fight, Bundu came out really aggressive. I think he was trying to shock Spence. I think that he thought that was his game plan, to keep the pressure on and like, you know, hurt him a little bit early. But then when you saw those left hooks to the body, the way they were digging in, you're just like, how much longer can this last? Because every time Bundu was throwing a punch, I don't know about you, it seemed like he was throwing everything he had into it. And like you, towards the fifth or sixth round, or the fourth and fifth, I was like, I don't think Bundu's getting out of here. This seems like a fight that's going to be fought over 12 rounds. It's going to be a clear decision. But to me, Bundu didn't look like he was that gassed, although everything was kind of leading up to that. The body shots, his ability to, or his willingness to throw everything on a punch. But all I got to say is when I have kids and they become boxers, I want them to watch Errol Spence tapes, because that dude is fundamentally so sound. I've been saying it for years, and you could still see it. If it takes you to get a bachelor's degree in fundamentals at a championship level, we're talking about a guy that has his doctrine. Errol Spence has a doctorate in fundamentals, and to me, every time I see him out, he gets better. Yes, he does get hit, but Bundu was Bundu, and he did something that no one else was able to do. Second fight in a row, he iced out someone that wasn't iceable. So that's what I'm liking where his progression is, and I can't wait to see more.
Is it me, or are these foreign fighters that we're forced to see now, are they all looking like Sam Solomon?
You know, he was a little bit squirrely. It was his 1-2 down the middle. I will say the one thing that disappointed me about Errol Spence is when he's backing up, he tends to get hit with the second punch. You could throw one punch, he'll block it. That second punch coming when he's on his heels, he does get hit with. It's not because it's more because he's going straight back, and I would like to see him circle a little bit more, but I think that he wasn't afraid of the power of Bundu, and I think what's going to be the Achilles heel for someone like Errol Spence is going to really push him. I think a pressure fighter keeping him backing up that entire time is going to be the downfall of him. I don't think he'll lose, but I think a Sean Porter will do better against someone like Errol Spence than a Keith Thurman, because Spence, to me, can box beautifully. When he's coming forward, he's taken over the fight. You got to get him on his heels. I think someone Sean Porter is going to be the best, but someone like Kell Brook, he was calling out. Kell Brook boxes. He stays on the outside. So I think that, you know, again, like I said, I don't think Sean Porter's the best fighter in the welterweight division, but I think he's the only one right now that can really test him the way I want him to be tested.
I hear you. I agree with you on the Sean Porter thing, but there was something that I seen Spence do when Bundu attacked him in that first round. Like you said, he was trying to make a statement, or at least give Spence a different look, something that he probably wasn't thinking. You know, we all expected Spence to be the one to come out and immediately bring his man to the ropes, and we seen the exact opposite with Bundu coming forward. But I think that the way that Spence handled it, I like it. He kind of put his earmuffs on, crouched down a little bit, and when the opportunity arose, he dug to the body with about a 3-punch combination. So I don't really care if it's Porter or whoever it is that tries to use that style. They're still going to have to deal with that power to the body, and this kid's not afraid to get hit. You know, I don't know if it's because he comes from Texas and he's kind of adapting the Mexican style, not to say that he's getting hit as much as a typical Mexican, but he's definitely putting his high guard on, letting you land too, whether he's rolling with them or, you know, they're bouncing off his guard, but then he's digging to the body immediately. So I'm thinking he wants to take one to give two.
You know, what we're kind of used to, we've been seeing Errol Spence since the gates because of him being an Olympian. So I think when we saw him against lesser competition, he wasn't taking these shots. Now when we do see these shots, we're like, oh man, what's going on here? But that shouldn't be the question. The question should be, or not, I guess the answer should be, is that you know, Errol Spence now is in a higher level, at a higher echelon. So of course he's going to get hit. We're just not accustomed to that. So we've seen him since the gates, since he's been fighting fighters since he was 4-0. So that's where I think the difference is. We're just not used to seeing him take shots. And now that we are, it's not a question of his chin, or it's not a question of his defensive ability. It's just he's moving up in the rankings, and this is what's going to happen. Even Mayweather got hit. The greats get hit. And now we're finally seeing that, something that we're not accustomed to. So I don't know about you, but to me, when I see him get hit, I think that he's got a strong chin, because even Bundu, the way he was uncorking, I don't think he's got a lot of power, but he was landing flush shots. So I think Errol Spence moving forward is going to show that he not only does he have a good chin, but he doesn't panic when he gets hit. And that's what I've seen the most in this fight. I saw that he was able to reset immediately. He didn't throw desperation shots like other. I mean, what about you? What do you think? Do you think that when he got hit, did he get flustered? Because he seemed cool, calm, and collected every single time.
Well, to me, which brings me to our first topic for all our listeners. Remember, that number is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 if you want to speak to me or James, or just get it off your chest. And you can call us absolutely free or internationally by adding Nestor Gibbs on Skype. So the first topic is basically, did Errol Spence make a statement? And it's not really did. It is Errol Spence statement made, because we wanted him to do better than Keith Thurman. He definitely did better and scored the stoppage, so it's cherry on top. In my opinion, he passed this test with flying colors. I give him an A on the performance and an A because he got the stoppage. What about you?
Absolutely, because I mean, I remember all those videos he did with Keith Thurman when he was defending his Bundu performance, saying that Bundu was so awkward, it's hard to fight him. So I couldn't think of anything else other than that someone like Keith Thurman gave this guy the waiver, saying this guy is good. He's very awkward. That's why I was looking the way I was. And then Errol Spence comes in and did what he did. He not only made a statement, he just stamped his approval, or he stamped his legacy on the welterweight division. I think he's the truth. I can't wait to see more. That division is so stacked. Errol Spence fits right in. What is he, 21-0 now? So to me, Errol Spence is ready for the shine. I've been saying I didn't want him to move forward yet because I want to see where he goes from here, but I think he's ready for the Keith Thurmans. I think he's ready for everything else. Okay, so coming up with that, he was calling out Kell Brook for that IBF strap. Is that a real fight, or is Kell Brook going to drop that?
Well, first of all, I'm glad that you went into it. I swear, I'm feeling like every episode they're listening more and more. We asked him for this, and this is why one of the topics is checked all the boxes, because we asked him for the knockout. We asked him to outdo Thurman. We asked him to come outside of his normal character, that character where he doesn't give good interviews and he's kind of like this shy guy. No, we want the Spence that we seen in the ring the day after the knockout, gesturing to his waist, saying, I want my strap. I'm coming for that strap. Oh, it excited me so freaking much. I'm coming for that strap. Now, would Kell Brook take it? Is he going to vacate? Is he going to beat Gennady? Would it be too much after the knockout if he gets knocked out? That's kind of where I'm at. And I feel like if I take a stance, I'll be, labeled a hater, right? So I'm going to say on this particular topic, coming for the strap, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Either is it going to be vacated or is he going to actually fight Kell Brook? But the fact that he called out Kell Brook, the fact that he said, yo, you can leave that Gennady Golovkin fight and come get me now. I love everything that he did. Post-fight interview. Man, listen, actually applauds and coins. You get coins, Errol Spence. Beautiful job. I love that you're listening is all I can say. What about you?
I think that I personally don't think that obviously, I don't think Kell Brook's going to win the Gennady Golovkin fight. I think he's going to get knocked out. He's going to take some time off. So I think he's going to relinquish that strap. But in the meantime, I want to see him fight someone like David Avanesian or whatever, that cat that beat Shane Mosley. So then he becomes the #1 contender for the WBC. I know they can't be ranked in the same ones, but let's be real. At this point,
that's WBA because he became the mandatory for Keith Thurman's belt, who was the WBA champion.
Okay, my bad. Whatever. I want him to position himself where these fighters, the champions, I want him to go under the dock and make sure that whoever's on top of that dock is the one that he's going after. So he needs to strategically plan this because I think that David guy, I think he could get beat easily by someone like Errol Spence. And if he positions himself into that ranking, it's kind of a win-win situation because there's two areas there for him.
But I think he's already—
Why are you shaking your head?
Because I think that he's already done that by going the LBF route. He's already just beat his eliminator, so he is mandatory next. That's why now the ball is in the hands of Kell Brook. Kell Brook has to either fight or vacate at this point, and we have to sit around and wait. I know what you're saying. Instead of him sit around and wait, you want him to somehow get active in another sanctioning body, but I really don't see it happening. Plus, talking to him this week in New York City, he made it clear, like, he wants Keith Thurman to fight Danny Garcia. He wants that fight next. He doesn't want to skip the line. He's going to IBF route. He wants Kell Brook or whoever is going to be the fighter that he has to face for that belt, and then he wants to unify. But he's going IBF first. So I'm just letting you know what he told me personally. So not just you, but the listeners don't put I guess, unfair expectations. The man has a plan and a route the same way that Gennady had a plan and a route when he said he wanted to unify the division.
Now that I'm looking at the IBF rankings, the one right behind him is that Konstantin Pranamerov or whatever like that.
He already turned down the fight. That's a top-ranked fighter. Everyone above Leonard Bundu turned down the fight, including Lamont Peterson. And this is coming from Lou DiBella. This is coming from Derek James. This is coming from Errol Spence Jr.
Damn, then you got Andre Berto at #8. See, anything else other than a title defense against someone like, or a title fight for Kell Brook, a Keith Thurman, it's going to be a little bit of a letdown. He needs to ride this wave. I understand he is young in his career, but right now he's got so much hype that I think he could do something like that. So to me personally as a fan, as much as like being on the show, I want to see him progress. I don't want to see another lateral move. Before this fight, I don't know about you, I would have said that Leonard Bundu was slightly below someone like Algieri, but now after watching this, I did think that I thought Bundu was competitive. I think if Algieri and Bundu fought each other, I'd say it's a 50-50 fight. So this is a lateral step. Would you really?
Hell yeah, I'd pick Algieri.
I don't know if I would pick Algieri after watching this.
Especially seeing Bundu right now have absolutely no fucking clue on what to do and start switching. To me, unless you're Terrence Crawford, and when you switch, you execute. If you're switching because you're confused yourself. You're running out of options. Trying to find a thing to do because everything that you're trying to do isn't fucking working. That being said, he checked all the boxes to me. He did everything right. Post-fight was right. Words out his mouth was right. Everything. What about you?
You're 100% correct, but what I was getting to my point was I don't want to see another lateral move. I want to see him progress now, especially what you're saying if you think he took a step back. I want to see him move forward towards his career. We've already been seeing the year of the cherry picker. I saw the Boxing Voice article. I don't want to see that anymore. Errol Spence needs to capitalize on this. Right now, the welterweight division is completely open. Although that Keith Thurman beats someone like Sean Porter, it doesn't make him a household name. Kell Brook's fighting Triple G. Neither of them are household names. Errol Spence can be that if he plays his cards right, as long as he progresses through his career forward, not side, not backwards. He could take over. Right now, boxing's wide open. There's no one in boxing right now that you can say that is the next star of boxing. There's so many that could be. Errol Spence could be that guy. He needs to get himself in that mix and make sure that he's making statements every time out against people who are up there. Not just knocking people out for the sake of knocking people out, but knocking out top-level caliber people. I think Errol Spence can be the guy that takes over boxing and is the star for us to move forward. He is, to me, he could be the Conor McGregor, the Ronda Rousey of the UFC.
Speaking of next stars, big baby Errol Miller. Showbox, another stoppage over Fred Cassie this time. We know him for his fights, obviously on PBC with Chris Arreola and a couple of other fighters there, right? But damn, the size difference, ridiculously noticeable. This dude is huge. I mean, 296 pounds, and I'm not even going to front, he wears it well. I mean, he doesn't look the 248 or 46 that Chris Arreola comes into the ring. Their bodies look different. Their frames look different. Big Baby Miller with a backhanded compliment on Deontay Wilder because Fred Cassie allegedly broke his hand in the fight and felt he couldn't continue. And, you know, he goes on to say in his post-fight, Errol Miller, that is that, you know, Deontay Wilder showed that a true champion fights on with a broken hand, but he's still going to break his jaw. What I seen is an entertaining heavyweight that is going to make some money really quick because all the other heavyweights are tied up. You got Tyson Fury and Vladimir Klitschko now going to court. And you have Deontay Wilder with the broken hand. The only active heavyweight right now is Anthony Joshua, who does he have something scheduled? They're saying Bermane Stiverne, but now Bermane Stiverne has been mandated by the WBC because of what happened with Alexander Povetkin's, you know, testing positive. He has now been mandated to fight number 2 Bermane Stiverne versus Alexander Povetkin to become the mandatory for, you know, Deontay Wilder. So everybody's tied up. Big Baby Miller can possibly slide in now and get a fight with some pretty big names in the division on a good network. Maybe HBO picks him up for like a Brian Jennings fight or a Luis Ortiz fight. What did you think of his performance? I'm going to say off the bat before I pass you, this guy's not ready for any of those top names. None.
100%. Didn't see the fight. I didn't even know Miller existed until about 2-3 weeks ago. But let's be real, knocking out Fred Cassie, especially when you're saying that he broke his hand, that's not impressive to me. I mean, someone like Amir Mansour knocked out Fred Cassie already a couple of years ago. So, and then when I watched the Hughie Fury fight with him, it was Hughie Fury didn't perform the way I wanted him to, obviously, but still, Cassie he's not the best gauge for me. He's not quite a gatekeeper. We know his name because he's fights these top fighters, but to me, Miller has more to prove. And if you're going to start talking shit about the bomb squad, you have no business in the ring being in with someone like that. But like you said, there's a lot of players out there. Let's see him move forward because what is he, like 18 or 19-0 now with Miller? So I think that division is very top heavy. The people that are at the top are going to dominate you. I don't think he's ready for any of those people. I don't think he's ready for Parker out of Australia or New Zealand, wherever he's from. I mean, shit, put him in there with someone like Hughie Fury and let me see what he does. But to me, he's on that prospect level. Although he's high up there in the numbers with how many wins he's got, he's still a prospect to me. And I mean, but that's what Keith Thurman did with Mayweather, so that's why I understand you need to call out the top names, and people think you're a top name. So we'll see where he goes from here, but I need to see more out of him before I even start pretending he could be in the ring with Wilder.
I want to make a quick honorable mention to a very special person, the reigning Olympic champion, Clarissa Shields from Flint, Michigan. We all know her for her Olympic gold win in 2012, and now 2016 Rio, she has captured another gold medal. And she brought her medal from 2012, James. So she already knew she was about to medal up twice. So big shout out to her, man. Hopefully this opens up some action for women's boxing, which is going to be on today on NBC Sports Network. Heather Hardy will be taking on Shelly Vincent. Check it out at 9 p.m. We're going to try and get out of here before then. And James, I'll toss it to you really quick. Errol Spence, I'm saying Berto Danny has been rumored. If that doesn't happen, then Errol Spence fighting for the vacant WBC versus Berto because he's around number 8 in that division is fine. If Top Rank wants to step up and do a purse bid and have their Russian champion, Russian contender fight him, that's fine. But I think that he's going to have to do something in the meantime. I mean, actually, Kell Brook's fight is in September. It's only about less than a month away. We're talking about maybe he could stick around. Maybe we'll see how quick the IBF mandates. Again, because of him being wanting that strap. I can't even say who I would like to see him with in the meantime. I mean, if he can sneak in a fight, which I highly doubt, being as though that the Brook fight is happening on the 10th, I mean, he might as well just wait it out. I don't think he fights anymore this year. What about you?
Yeah, you're right. Because, I mean, again, it all kind of comes down to how Kell Brook does in that Triple G fight. I think Kell Brook's going to be sent to hell from the Triple G fight. So I think that there's no way that when you fight someone like Triple G, you don't come out of it and fight a couple months later. You usually take a lot of time off, more than normal, because of what happens in it. If Kell Brook goes in there and actually surprises us all and beats someone like Triple G, do I see it happening? Even then, no, because he's going to stay at the middleweight division. I think he's going to know that he's there. But to me, I want to see Sean Porter. I want to see the Danny Garcias. I want to see, Felix Diaz. I think Felix Diaz earned his right to be in this division too by beating someone like Sammy Vasquez. So to me, I mean, I wouldn't mind a Diaz fight. I think that's where it's probably going to wind up leading to, and especially if you said that Panamera guy or whatever, he denied the fight. But the problem with someone like Errol Spence is the risk versus the reward right now. So we're going to see these lateral moves, but to us as a hardcores, we know that Diaz is credible. So to me, I don't think that's a step back. If it's lateral, I guess I'll have to put up with it. I'd rather see him move forward, but I don't see anyone wanting to fight him. I don't see Porter wanting to fight him. Garcia sure as hell is not going to want to fight him because I think he ices Danny Garcia out in 5 rounds. I don't think Thurman's going to do it. I don't think any of them.
Let's not forget that he is being hit, and he could take a shot from one of these other upper echelon welterweights. Berto is amazingly fast and hits hard. Yes, I see Errol Spence beating the hell out of a body of a Berto, but Berto has that overhand right, man. It can end any night.
You're right, but I mean, I think where you kind of spawned off of was the Danny Garcia. I mean, when I see Danny Garcia fighting him right now is that he's
the left hook, same difference, the straight right.
The problem with that left hook, the problem when he lands that left hook, Danny Garcia, it's because he's counter-punching you, he's timing you well. Someone like Spence, watch it. He keeps a hand close and he's throwing that left back. It'll stop someone like Danny Garcia. Berto has no chance. Berto would get knocked out in 5 rounds by someone like Errol Spence. Or easy work.
I'm not ready to all of a sudden say that Errol is gonna eat the entire top 5 of the welterweight division.
He won't. No, don't put words in my mouth. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Kell Brook are the 3. Manny Pacquiao, only because he's there. Those are the 4 people I would say that would give him problems. I'm not saying he would win or lose. Those are the 4 people. Anyone else under him, I think Errol Spence is exactly what he just did today with Bundu.
Yeah, well, let's not forget Bundu was 41 years old. Like, come on.
But Keith Thurman himself was talking about how awkward he was in there. And Thurman, I'll give him credit because Keith Thurman, it hasn't been one time in years.
Keith Thurman is a cerebral fighter. After my conversation with Thurman and Flawless, he's a cerebral fighter. He doesn't want to be hit. He's like Mayweather, hit, not be hit.
Yeah, because after fighting all those fights, what's that fight? Soto Cross fight. But so is Errol Spence. When you see Errol Spence fighting, he's always in his head. He gets hit with something. He doesn't get hit with that same punch for a little bit. It's not like he gets hit and then it's hit and then it's hit.
Listen, all I'm saying is that there's a lot of talent on the top of this division for a win over Bundu to all of a sudden it puts him in the way. It puts him in the discussion, but he's not beating them guys without showing me he could beat them. No, not me. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm gonna open it up. It's up to you.
He showed with this win over Bundu that he's beating these cats in the top 5, or not in the top 5. I will put him in the top 5 today because of this win.
But beating who?
He beat Algieri.
Beating who in the top 5 though?
Again, my top 4 right now in front of him. I would put him number 5. I would have Manny Pacquiao number 1 because of what he did with Tim Bradley. I would say number 2 would be Keith Thurman. Number 3 could be Tim Bradley or Sean Porter. Number 4, let me put Kell Brook at number 2. And then I'll slip out. Who could I slip out? Shit. I'm gonna have to go top 6 because I think Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, Tim Bradley, and then Keith. So it's top 6. Top 6. He's top 6 for sure.
You pushed him down, right? It's hard.
I had to because it's all depending on what I think Tim Bradley's doing in the next fight. Tim Bradley's a tricky pickle. Eye test,
my test. I want to see him fight.
Eye test. There's no eye test. He knocked out. Look what he did to Chris Algieri. He made Chris Algieri look like a bum, and now he's doing the same to Leonard Bundu.
Listen, he looked amazing today. I mean, let's not get. All I'm saying is let's not get wrapped up in and it's not you. I'm just saying I don't want the public also to think, oh, he beat Bundu, he can beat Floyd, he can beat Pacquiao, he can beat Thurman, Porter. Like, come on, Bundu is a contender. Like, come on, like when Thurman knocked out Collazo, they were still doubting Thurman. He had to beat Porter, so all of a sudden you could beat Bundu, whose biggest name on his resume might be Frankie Gavin and you're the goods. No, eye test is what you're using, and eye test is what we're going to be hearing today when we open up these phone lines.
No, it's not an eye test, though, real quick, because, I mean, think about who Chris Algieri fought and what Errol Spence was able to do with him. And Bundu's only fight was against someone like Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman just beat Sean Porter, so we know what Keith Thurman is. So he did something emphatically. He did something that all the other boxers before haven't been able to do to his opponents. That's not my eye test. If these are SAT scores, he's been perfect. I understand this might not make him the most brilliant man alive. He's not Albert Einstein. But all I'm saying is, as of right now, you're signing him. If he's stock, you're buying it.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it. And if you're watching this, thumbs up the video. I know you're enjoying it. We're opening up the phone line. Number is 1-425-569-5241. We're going to head out to the streets. We're going to, I believe it's North, right? I mean, talk to me.
Yo, what's good, fellas?
Talk to us, brother.
Yo, I'm riding with James on this one. It's not about comparing and saying he can beat this person and being that person. You have to start having that discussion when he start dispatching like opponents, Pats that we're rating already. If we're rating Thurman, if we're rating Pacquiao's win over Algieri and this, that, and the third, we have to look at the way Spence is dispatching these same guys and at least have the discussion. We can't shy away from it because at the end of the day, he's also going to fight in a title eliminator or he's going to fight, for a vacant title, and then he's going to be in the discussion. Then do we start doubting him and saying, oh, well, let's not forget, this, that. If he's in that position, it's because he's fought his way into it, just like everybody else. I mean, I don't know, man. You sound a little salty, B. I never heard you sound like that before, man.
How am I salty? Because I'm asking the same thing that we're preaching and asking of Golovkin. And please don't make this about me because y'all going to ruin the show saying that I got nothing wrong. I'm happy Spence did what he did. I say he checked all the boxes.
All right. I mean, listen,
he checked them all. He checked them all. But listen to me. I mean, if this were Gennady Golovkin beating up a 41-year-old man, will you be saying that he's going to beat up the top of the division? Just think about that. You know what I'm saying?
If Triple G had somebody else in the division that was tearing through it, or at least it was like, all right, somebody else that wants to. We don't have nobody else. Like, we like Jacobs, we like cats at 160, but nobody is really in the discussion at 160. So I'm just saying that it's a little bit different because, Spence is in a position where he's fighting his way literally into the discussion with defeating like opponents of top guys. We got to talk. I don't think it's fueling any unnecessary fires. I think it's a fair discussion. That's all I'm saying, brother.
I agree. Spence is the truth, my friend. What do you think is going to happen with the IBF, the Kell Brook situation? That fight is happening September 10th.
Yo, Spence is going to be wearing that strap, man, because Kell Brook is not going to come down after that fight. Kell Brook might not even be in boxing after that fight, as far as we know. If he surprises us, then he'll have the strap at 160 and at 147, and we'll be amazed. But, I mean, that's unicorn talk, B. So I think Spence will be wearing that strap, that IPF strap. And then, like I said, from there, it's who else is gonna provide him with a credible competition, with a credible fight, and then so we can really validate if that's what we're trying to do, or really try to, or if he's forget about what we're trying to do. If he's trying to stake his claim at 147 with the strap, nobody's really going to be able to avoid him if they want to cut it.
All right. Excuse me, Jesus. Oh, audio quality. I just ruined it. Listen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that we do have a allotted time for all our callers. We have a bunch of callers out there, and that number is 425-569-5241. So if you hear that sound, you know you need to cut it, because guess what? It's someone else's turn. So don't be all pouty.
It's just one of them days. Don't take it personal.
No one take it personal. There's just dozens of other callers just like you trying to get on. So remember, if you're enjoying this, the thumbs up the video is very important. And don't forget to share this on your social media. Very, very important. Let's head out to the international quarters. We're going to, actually, it's not international, neither one of these guys, but they decided to hit the Skype, right? So, Boxing MD, talk to me.
So, like, you know, it's weird that he was fighting on a Sunday, Errol Spence, but, like, you know, I was watching the USA Olympic gold medal match, and on that NBC spot, the fight was right after that. So hopefully a lot of people were watching the NBA game and got a chance to see Errol Spence knock out Leonard Bundu. So, I mean, it's better exposure than I once previously thought, him fighting on a Sunday. So, I don't know, like, is James there? Like, I wouldn't give him like an A+, because although the knockout was beautiful, he stands up really straight, and when he punches to the body, he gets hit really clean to the head. And against a better fighter than Leonard Bundu, I think that may be a problem. But he is definitely somewhere in the top 5.
Yeah,
Ness, did you see that?
We're not arguing. I don't think that the argument is that he's in the top 5. The argument is that is he going to beat those guys up there? Like, are you picking him right off the bat versus any of the top 5?
He's competitive with any of them. I mean, that's what it seems like, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's a thing where we have to let it happen. But what do you think is going to happen with the Kell Brook situation in the IBF now that he's the mandatory?
I think Kell Brook's going to lose, but if Kell Brook wins, he could do whatever he wants. Like, I'm sure we all give Kell Brook a pass to do whatever he wants to. If he beats Triple G, don't be angry if he doesn't give Errol Spence a shot. I don't know. Like, would you be angry at this?
No, I mean, if Kell Brook beats Triple G, he's going to vacate the title. That's obvious.
Yeah. So like most upcoming champions, he's going to get a shot at a vacant strap, which is a good thing, honestly, because that's a way to build a star.
Yeah, but they can't call him a paper champion because technically you can, but it would be circumstantial. I swear.
I mean, some guys have already publicly ducked him, so you can't really call him a paper champion anyway because he's been ducked. So I don't think people would be disrespecting him like that. So he did check all the boxes. Like, I think, even though, like, I could be a little critical of his critical only because he's already elite or he's at the elite level. So the criticism I have is not to disrespect him as a boxer. It's just to think about how he would look against Sean Porter, et cetera, you know? So I did not see the big baby Jarrell Miller fight. I don't know, like James, I did not see that. And I think Felix Diaz, if he wants to get a quick fight in, because that wasn't really much of a fight, honestly. So he could take another fight pretty soon, maybe even right before the Triple G fight.
What?
You know,
the Triple G fight is September 10th, man.
Oh, I guess that's too soon. Well, I mean, honestly, he could fight again in 2 more months. What reason does he have to wait? I mean, these PBC guys who are fighting it.
Because the mandatory is September 10th. Why would he fight? Why would he schedule himself?
All right, so it'll be a little after, but Ness, just listen. These PBC guys who are fighting in front of, like,
7. 4.
All right, have a good day.
Cut it.
Yo, Ness hit you with that shot clock.
Yo, it's too many callers, too many people. We got our resident rock star ready to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was impressed thoroughly. I mean, at this point, everyone loves Errol Spence. We all think he's a great fighter, and I love his nickname, The Truth. That's all I could think is, like, how fitting is that? He really is the fucking truth. And to go with what James was saying, I think he made the best overall assessment, because it's not just the fact that he's starting to beat these like opponents. He's starting to do way head and shoulders above the top level guys against these like opponents. He did better than what Pacquiao did against Chris Algieri. He did better than what Keith Thurman did against Leonard Bundu. So you got to think, if he's doing that much better, then he's definitely not only just in the discussion with these guys now you got to start to wonder if you know, he doesn't just belong in the ring with some of these guys. He can actually beat some of these guys. And I like everything I saw, man, especially for someone like Keith Thurman, who, you know, you see it once, it's, you know, it's an anomaly. You see it twice, it's kind of, you start to raise questions, and then it happens again. You think, damn, Keith Thurman can't take a fucking body shot. And Errol Spence, if there's one thing that I took away from this more than anything, not just the skill set, but the game plan. He has an awesome corner. They put together a great strategy, which I think, you know, most people they overlook that aspect of the game. I think we don't really think about how these guys plan to come out in the opening rounds and how they plan to turn it up. You know, when fighters saw Khan, they're like, oh shit, Khan's beating Canelo. I knew this shit would happen. Canelo's a fraud. I saw, damn, Canelo's letting him get off some of his punches, and he's going to the body, and then as soon as those Khan hands drop, he's going to come over the top. That's the same thing I saw here. He broke down Leonard Bundu so gnarly with those body shots, and then when the time was right, he started moving upstairs, and he couldn't take that heat anymore. And I was thoroughly impressed on every level, and he really is, in my opinion, the truth. And I want to see him. I want to see him in against those top name guys. I don't think we see it out the gate. I think some of these guys are going to want to avoid him for a while. So I don't mind sidesteps with him as long as he stays active and just completely just continues to build his name to where he's worth money, to where these guys can't avoid him, because he is the big money fight that they need to chase. So with that said, that's all I got, man. I fucking enjoyed a nice Sunday afternoon of boxing. That was fucking awesome.
Yo, and let me just comment off those body shots that he was talking about. Typically, a traditional fighter, 9 times out of 10, you're an orthodox fighter. When you throw your right hook to the body, it's hitting the left side, or your left side of a normal person. His power punch, his power uppercut to the body is hitting your liver. The liver is a different level than your left side of your body. The right side of your body hurts more to get hit on because of your liver being there. And it's the way he delivers them. And he's just so... When he throws his punches, it doesn't seem like he's overcommitting. He seems like it's just very fluid in the motion, and his power comes from his fundamentals. That's what impresses me every single time I see it. It's not like Leonard Bundu, who's thrown a haymaker with all his body weight. Someone like Errol Spence knows how to pivot and shoot off right to hit you right with the power that he needs. Doesn't hit you with 10s, he hits you with 8s, and then we just saw what 8s do to you. Breaks you down, knocks you out, and you almost fall out of the ring.
All right, let's head on out to these phone lines because they are lit up. Remember, that number is 1-425-569-5241. You want to get it off your chest. You want to talk a little Errol Spence. Is he the truth? Because he sure showed us he is. We're going to go out to the 415 San Francisco. Talk to us. Who's this?
What's going on, y'all? It's Larry. How you doing?
Larry, what's going on, brother? Talk to us.
Hey, a couple things. One, once again, fantastic performance by Errol Spence. And James, I got to agree with everything you said regarding his technical ability. Comes forward, throws a lot of punches, goes to the body, goes to the head. Looks great doing it as well. But I got to have you pump the brakes just a bit on he's going to knock out Danny Garcia in 5 rounds. Garcia, for all the mess we give him, is a really good fighter, was a really good amateur, same thing in the pros, and has beaten a lot of good fighters. I would favor Spence in that fight because he's the bigger man, but Danny would give him more than a good fight and would hit him. And we get a good test of what Spence's chin in a Garcia fight. Secondly,
yeah, but outside the left, real quick, outside the left hook, what else would you say Danny Garcia has?
Outside the left hook, what else do we have as a fighter?
The straight right that he exhibited in Judah fight.
Oh, Judah. The guy who has an AARP card and somehow still getting licensed?
Yeah, but James, you just gave Spence props for beating a 41-year-old man, so you can't really run with that.
This 41-year-old man's like Amir Mansour. Amir Mansour, beating Amir Mansour right now is perfectly fine in my book. I don't care how old he is. It's until he is proven guilty, I will make sure that he's innocent, and Leonard Bundu was innocent before this.
All right. No, I'm not. I mean, amen for all that. I will say this, though. I do think we're jumping the gun a bit on Errol Spence. Keith Thurman, in my opinion, is the man at welterweight, and I think his resume and his talent has proven that. Keith Thurman beat an undefeated Diego Chavez, who was a really good fighter at the time, and you could even call him somewhat of an equal at that point. Until I see Spence beat somebody like on a Jose Benavidez Jr. level, a young fighter with some talent, not as good as Spence, but somewhere along that lines, I need to see that before I can start the coronation that he's the man at welterweight. Beating these 41-year-old dudes and these former junior welterweights with little to no power, I don't think you can really say he's the man until he fights somebody who's dangerous. With that said, I still think he's really good, and he'll give anybody a fight. Maybe next year be the man, but right now it's too soon. Appreciate the time, y'all. I'm out.
All right, Larry, thank you for calling in from San Francisco. We're going to head over to where everything's big. Big Jones himself from Texas. Talk to us, brother.
Hello?
Talk to us, Big Jones.
Hello? Yeah, man. Remember before the Algieri fight, maybe like a year or so ago, remember we had a discussion about Thurman and Spence and talking about power, and you were debating me, didn't really believe the hype yet?
Of course, I can't remember that far back, but I'm sure you're telling me for a reason, so go ahead. I believe you.
What I'm saying is, man, what I like about Spence is he's one of those guys that at every turn, from what we've heard about him from Olympics to Mayweather, what happened in camp with him, from every turn, he's been as good as the hype, as good as advertised. So, I mean, I got to give him props for that. He does exactly what he has to do and then some, you know. So I definitely got to give him props for that. I think in the future, we can debate, you know, if he would knock these guys out, but first he has to get in the ring with them. But I think we need to turn our attention to how he gets in the ring with those guys. And I think he could build his marketing off of, I'm the guy that nobody wants to fight. Like if you look at Golovkin, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest selling points that they always throw out there, and it's true. Nobody in this division wants to fight Golovkin. If Spence keeps having performances like this and builds himself up as, I'm the boogeyman in the Lions Den. This is the toughest division, arguably, in boxing. All these Lions, especially on my side of the street, and they don't want to fight me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would just use that, turn a negative into a positive, or try to, and just keep knocking out everybody in my path. I wouldn't have a problem with a lateral step if you can't find a dance partner. There's nothing you can do about that. All you can do is just accentuate the positives. And I was very impressed with him. I mean, I think what do you call it? Like, he could be the man. I'm not saying he is the man, but he could definitely be the man.
All right, Jim Jones. Well, thanks.
Yeah, that's my call, man.
All right, Big Jones. Thanks for calling in. We're going to head over to Skype, go to No Name Boxing. No Name Boxing, talk to us.
Hey, what's up, Ness? What's good, man?
What up, what up, what up? Were you impressed? This Errol Spence statement made, right?
Listen, we already had this conversation last week, Ness. I mean, didn't I tell you Errol Spence is the Gennady Golovkin of the welterweight division? Didn't I tell you that?
You told me.
You know what I mean? It's just only the beginning, man.
You're serious? You're serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I'm serious. You know what I mean? I don't see none of the top guys going to fight this guy, man. And in terms of Kell Brook situation, win or lose, he's not coming back to 147. Okay. If he beats Gennady, of course he's going to campaign at 160. If he loses to Gennady, he's going to 154. And Spencer's going to fight for that vacated IBF belt. And you know, he's going to be a legit champ. Nobody's want to unify with this guy, man. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? So, what you think?
I don't know about nobody wanting to unify, especially in the PBC world. Those guys are willing to get in there and fight. They're going to be paid right. Danny's going to fight Thurman, and the winner of that is going to fight Spence. Believe that.
Hold on. You think Thurman's going to fight Spence?
I think Thurman's going to fight Danny next. Thurman won't fight.
Okay. I believe that. That's true. But
yeah, because listen, guys can't say that Thurman is ducking or anything, because when you don't look behind you, you look in front of you. So Earl is behind him trying to get where Thurman is at. Did Earl do magnificent? Hell yeah. But Thurman's trying to get to that next level, so he ain't going to look back. Yo, what's looking sweet to Thurman is Danny. And Danny, he's looking at it like, all right, I'll get in there with Thurman, but it's a unification. Give me money. But that's going to happen. Earl got to get his title so that he is worth something.
If I had a soundboard, I'd give you coins because that made sense.
Thurman's going to whoop his ass. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman easily beats Danny Garcia. Easy.
Well, that's what you
think.
think.
That's a fact.
Well, how can it be a fact if they haven't fought?
Listen, Danny Garcia is a dead man at 147. Real shit.
Sure he is.
Man.
They said that about him at 140.
I'll bet money, Ness. What's popping?
Hey, listen,
I'll bet
man.
money on that if they fight.
When the fight happens, man. When the fight happens. All I know is that I've been doing this for a while, and I've been hearing people pick against Garcia for a while, and he's been winning for a while.
Never been in LA, never been in LA.
Never been fighting. Real shit.
What
Danny
happened?
Garcia never fought Keith Thurman.
Yeah. Let's see if Keith
And
Thurman.
you know what? And you know what? Neither one of those guys can't fuck with Spence. That's a fact.
You got 10 seconds.
My fault, man. Do your thing, man.
No, you do yours. You got 9. 8.
I'm good. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence is the guy in welterweight division. Point blank, period. Is a future.
1. He is the truth. That's for sure. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that number is 1-425-569-5241. Remember to press 1 just one time if you want to talk to the host. You want to get it off your chest. You want to let us know just how good you thought Errol Spence did. Did he make that statement? Because I sure think he did. Is Kell Brook going to vacate? Because I sure think he will. Did he check all the boxes? Hell yes, he did. Let's get out to these callers out here. We're going to go to the Sunshine State, right? Orlando, Florida, talk to some Jay. Jay, what's going on, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, Ness, real quick, I got to give you a coin. I got to give you a gunshot at the same time, man. Because it's like this. I'm like you. I'm a Keith Thurman fan, so sometimes I like my fighters. I know you like DSG, so sometimes if a person says something that's below them, I'm going to just jump to the stream, and you block yourself at the beginning from jumping to the stream, and then you got pulled in. You let people pull you in where you just kind of took away from what Earl is doing. This man, if he was on HBO, he's had eight stoppages in a row. 8 stoppages in a row. You can't deny that. And the last 2 have been against champions. No matter what you
listen, the last 2 have been against guys who have never been stopped. Like, I'm giving them the credit. You know what it is. I'm the villain of the show. People want to come at me for whatever reason. The thing is this. Earl is looking so good, so they got to bring up Garcia because they think that's my little boyfriend, and I'm going to be protecting him. That's what is going on. I think Earl did magnificent. I think Earl is the truth. I've been talking about Earl from the beginning. Like, people are just saying, they're
Nas, do you think that Danny Garcia does the same against Bundu that he just did, though? Let's be real.
Man, fuck. What the fuck? Yo, we talking about a 2-division world champion, a declarated amateur, an undisputed at 140, somebody who went through Matisse, Judah, Nate Campbell, Kendall Holt. How the fuck won't he do that to Bundu? Come on, man. You guys are disrespectful some fucking times, I swear.
You're disrespectful to me and the caller for saying that shit. Get out of here.
Is he dead yet?
I agree with Ness on that.
Is he still breathing?
If he gets him right now at 41, he'll stop him. He'll stop him.
Yo, but people keep talking about 41. But what happened when he was 40 years old and Keith Thurman was saying he was one of the hardest fighters that he ever had to fight because he was so awkward. Now all of a sudden he's 41 years old. All of a sudden.
James, stop acting like it's all of a sudden. I mean, what's happening is happening. The dude is 41. He's still a tough fighter. You could see that in the Spence fight. It wasn't like Spence was walking over him. Spence did what he had to do. I just hate the fact that we always get here at a post-fight and we start degrading other fighters' performances. Listen, we asked for Spence to do better than Thurman. He did. We don't have to shit on Thurman.
Who's shitting on Thurman? All I'm saying is that Spence did so well that it shocked us all. Not shocked us, but it catapulted him. This is not degrading what Keith Thurman did because, like I said, Keith Thurman just beat Sean Porter, arguably one of the best welterweights out there in the world. If anything, what I'm giving is more credit to Errol Spence for doing what he did. Why are you saying I'm degrading people? I'm not degrading Keith Thurman. I'm promoting Errol
My
Spence.
man on the phone right now is
My bad. I'm taking the time. I'm taking the time.
No, not that you're taking his time. He's the one that said that Garcia won't fight Thurman, and and you know, it's not me. The callers are saying this. I'm not.
Garcia won't fight Thurman. You kidding me? Garcia's gonna fight Andre Berto, and then he's gonna get picked off on the top line.
Yo, Famalam, listen. Garcia is gonna fight Berto, and then it's gonna be the beginning of 2017. I already told you this is all around the Showtime, like, you know, water cooler, bro. This is gonna happen.
The problem with your statement is you were there. You became a meme because of Angel Garcia. You were there when he said, why would they fight the tops when they could fight someone like Rod Selka and get $800,000 and blah, blah, blah? You were there.
All right.
We know their mentality. This isn't going to all of a sudden change. They don't care.
Yo,
that was your video. That was your question.
I know. Listen, Jay, I don't want to keep the phone lines.
Yo, Ness wants a book now that all of a sudden he's backed into the corner.
I don't want a book. Listen, all I'm saying is you're right. They said what they said, but in this world, he's got to fight. What are you talking about? Didn't he fight What do you think he's just going to be? Who's he going to defend versus? He's got to fight. He's got to.
I wish it was that easy, Ness, to say he's got to. We know he's not going to.
Jacobs and Peter Quillen for. Porter and Thurman for. Frampton, Santa Cruz, they fight, man. Over here, we ain't got that problem.
No, we already know that Al Heyman presents you with 3 fighters, and you pick the one that you want. If you deny it, he has no issue with it. Danny Garcia is going to play it safe. If he fights someone like, if he fights someone like Thurman, I'll be
James. I want everybody to know, is James taking time away from the caller? But let me make this simple for James, since he used the Al Heyman contract, right? He gives you 3 fighters: Thurman, Errol Spence, Andre Berto. He takes Berto. Okay, he takes Berto. I said that, man. 2017 first quarter. Now they give him the names again: Errol Spence, Thurman. Who else is up? Who else moved up now? Because now Berto's gone. We expecting him to lose, right?
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter. Who the fuck does Danny take?
Danny takes
every fight besides Thurman is a hard fight.
No. Danny takes the Amir Khan rematch. He takes a Amir Khan rematch before he takes Keith Thurman.
You want to pull a magic out of the hat? Okay. Let's give him the Khan rematch. And everybody would accept it because Khan is coming off a pay-per-view. This is a rematch where he was a 7-1 underdog. It's sellable. It's sellable, James. So you're losing this. Let me get my gun. Because you're dead. I don't even know how you're walking. Dead man walking.
I don't know how you're shooting a gun when you're already a zombie walking looking for fucking brains. Get out of here. You've been dead for years, bro. You're right now you're like Beetlejuice right now, and parts of you are falling off, but you're still alive somehow.
Listeners, you help me. First quarter, Danny Garcia gets off for Thurman, Errol Spence, or Sean Porter. Why would he take the 2 pressure body attackers in Thurman and Spence when he could go for Porter and Spence when he could go with Thurman, who at least likes to dance around? You know that. Come on, James.
Yo, the YouTube chat has already buried you, bro. Just let me know what you want me to say at your eulogy, and we'll be okay.
They said James died. Ness killed him. It's right there.
Yo, what are you reading? Are you on your fucking WhatsApp app or what? Are you on Snapchat? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to open up these phone lines. We're going to Houston, Texas again. 832, you are up. Who's this?
It's BB the King. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? Errol Spence, he made a statement loud enough for you?
Yeah. Very loud, very loud. I agree with James, man. James is killing it right now.
What is he exactly killing, my friend?
When he was talking about, not at the beginning, not what y'all just went through right now, but at the beginning of the show, he was killing it. I don't know about what he was talking about with Danny.
Okay.
If Kell Brook vacates, I think a good matchup for Spence would be either Broner or Khan. What you think about that?
Oh, man, I would love Broner, but he ain't doing that. There was rumors. Remember, there was room. That's why Broner don't even like me now for telling for getting the truth out there about Errol Spence dropping him.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That fight buildup would go crazy.
Listen, Broner's out in focus right now after them 30 days, but I don't know, man. I don't know. He hasn't even officially moved to 147 yet. You know, who knows? Maybe now that he's come out and he's more, career-oriented, maybe he's going to try and stay at 140.
Yeah. And did you hear about Gervonta Davis and Jason Sosa?
Yes, I did. I don't know how official it is until it's official. If that's real, wow, that's it's kind of like it's.
And imagine if they put that on the same card.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't think it's a little fast for poor Gervonta at this point? Yo, we're talking about Sosa. He just iced out fucking. He had a draw with Nicholas Walters first of all. Then he iced out Fortuna. You want to throw Gervonta in there now after? Who's he beat?
Yeah, but we both know Walters won that fight though. Come on.
It don't matter, man. He got the experience out of that. I don't know. Hey, man.
Yes,
hey,
but
if Gervonta get that title now,
Tank has that power.
Hey, if Tank got that, listen, if he could do it, he could do it. I mean, that would be nice to see. Nice to see. I think he's a little raw right now. I think he still needs to polish up.
Oh, let me just say this real quick. And if Kell Brook fights Spence, Wingy's gonna eat pie.
We know that.
Man, it's over with. Over with. But that's my call. All right.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going to head to Atlanta, 678. Atlanta, Georgia. Talk to us.
Hey, what's up, Ness?
What's going on? Who's this?
It's D, man, from Miami, but I moved here to Atlanta. We talked about a week ago.
D, what's going on, brother? Talk to us. Did Spence make a statement in your opinion?
Hell yeah, man. He made a powerful statement because he did something Keith couldn't do, right? And I think Kell Brook is going to vacate the title. I think it'll be a good matchup between Sean Porter and Errol Spence, but Errol Spence will uppercut him to death. And he has a tremendous punch to the liver. Remember when Bernard fought De La Hoya, when he hit him in the liver, he stopped him? And I think the sky's the limit for this kid. And he really breaks you down systematically. He really breaks you down. Now, he does get hit now. He gets hit. But guess what? He's hitting back. So I think it will be a good fight for him with Sean Porter, Danny, a lot of people play Danny as a chump, man. That man can fight. He really can fight. That's just my opinion, Ness. I know you got other callers, bro, but I think Spence did a hellified performance today. And Broner, yeah, he's not going to get in a ring with Broner. Broner's not going to get in a ring with him. Hell no. He'll knock his head off. So that's what I got to say, bro. Keep up the good work, man. I'm here.
All right, brother. Thank you.
It's not about him. It's about the people pushing him, bro. It ain't about him. If anybody gets pushed like that, they'll get those ratings. If you push me like that, I would have got twice the rating.
Just wait, I'm done.
Chris from New York.
What's up, brother?
Yo, what's good, Ness? What up, James? Man, this weekend, man, we just witnessed some incredible performances, man. So some guys are gonna proven that they're the top in their division, man. This is the real deal. I think that he showed a lot of good balance today. He showed that he could work effective off his jab, and he showed, as he always does, a tremendous. And he's recently this is the second person he stopped and ruled it was a top flight competition. I think he needs to get the credit he deserves. And I think that he's gonna be on top of this division. Outside of Tim Bradley, I see Spence taking out like a lot of people at welterweight. I think he even takes out Thurman. He does a lot of things too well. He has good balance. He has good footwork. He's very steady when he throws his punches. And I think he's all kinds of problems for Thurman. Thurman got hurt with a body shot from Porter and Luis Collazo. And Spence just stopped Bundu, and Thurman could do that himself. So, Kell Brook, if Kell Brook can't get back down to 147, I think Kell Brook probably would have been the best fight, and he had the best chance of beating Spence. Because I think strength-wise, he's just as strong as Errol Spence. But outside of that, man, I don't know. Maybe Sean Porter can beat him. But besides that, man, I really like Jarrell Miller. He's putting down for Brooklyn. And I would like to see him against Gerald Washington. I think that would be a great fight for him. 2 undefeated heavyweights coming up. And if he can't get a fight with Gerald Washington, I would love to see him versus Amir Mansour. If he could stop Amir Mansour, that would be excellent as well.
Yo, I was
Dominic Brazil would be good too.
Brazil, he's coming off a knockout, but like, I was just gonna say Mansour would have been a good test, because it's something he'll take. He's on the older side.
But you went like Gerald Washington as well, man. I think Gerald is pretty good.
I think he's still green, and I think he still has upside. I wouldn't rush him real quick. Miller's look how small Cassie look next to Miller, man. I think we see what he can do with Amir Mansour before we start throwing him young, marketable prospects. I think El Gallo looks pretty good. You could sell him. He can come up the ranks and possibly be a good television fight for somebody. To throw him in there with Miller right now, I don't know, James. Is that too fast? Should we be expecting El Gallo to be able to take out Miller right? Well, damn, you didn't see the fight. You don't even.
But I'm a fan of prospects versus prospects. I love that. But the only prospect versus prospect I wasn't excited for was Sammy Vasquez versus someone like Errol Spence. But I always bring it up. What's that cat's name? He's from Honduras, and then he fought that other dude that we always talk about it.
Granados versus Iman.
No. Shit. I can't even remember it. Eddie Gomez versus
Daquan Arnett.
Daquan Arnett, exactly. I love those fights, and that's what I like to see. I like to see prospects proving each other, because a loss early in your career will fade by the wayside. So to me, I wouldn't mind the El Gallo fight. I've never been high on him. I saw him at the StubHub Center probably 5 times on an undercard fight. I've never been really stoked on him, but I don't know much about Miller, so it's hard for me. What do you think, Ness? You saw the fight. I don't think it was even aired. What did you see from Miller to say that you think that he's even in contention with these cats?
Well, Chris, why don't you answer that first so you can get some of your call off before we get to someone else, and then I'll pick it up.
I think legitimately Miller has a lot of size on the heavyweights, and he has great boxing skill. And as far as when it comes to Gerald Washington, you got to take him in hand, and he just thoroughly outboxed Eddie Chambers. And on top of that, before that, he had a draw with Amir Mansour, who he arguably could have won. I don't think you need to build him up anymore. No one else has stopped Fred Cass. Well, Amir Mansour stopped Fred Cassie, but nobody has done it as easily as, Jarrell Miller just did. And I think he's legit, man. He's been calling out these guys for a long time. He's big for the weight, and he's strong. He's a real big guy. And I think that's going to be – he's a true heavyweight. And I think he causes a lot of problems for a lot of these guys. And I don't think he's ready for Wilder. But someone like Gerald Washington or even Brazil, like you guys said, I think would be perfect.
Well, all right, Chris, man, thank you for calling in all the way from New York City. And I'll say this, James, I don't think he is necessarily ready. I mean, I know that Chris feels he's been calling people out for a long time, but he's 18-0. He already has a draw. Maybe Chris has a little bit of New York City bias. After all, he is 6'4", Chris, right? So I think Gerald Miller needs to, like I said, in Amir Mansour, maybe El Gallo right now becomes at the very least another draw, if not a loss. He is a more active heavyweight for one, and he moves more than Cassie. Cassie doesn't move. You know that. I know that. So Miller's a big-ass tank, and he had a guy that wasn't really, doing much movement, especially after he broke his hand. So I don't know. And, I agree with Chris that, yeah, he's not ready for Deontay.
So to give me, I guess, a framework of this, you think Gerald Miller at 18-0 is ready for Amir Mansour? Because typically a normal fighter is not ready at 18-0. You think he's that far ahead?
Mansour at this, yeah, this guy's got power.
Okay.
He's got power. See what Chris calls boxing, I don't necessarily call that boxing. I know that you won't call it. Like anytime Cassie was attacking, he just put his earmuffs up and kind of crouched down and got in whenever he could get in and try to land some punches. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I'm bigger than you. I'm gonna outweigh you and outpunch you was really what he did. So, but that's what all bigger heavyweights are doing these days, right? So let's see what happens, man. We're gonna go back out to these streets, and we're going to go from Atlanta to New York, back to New York City, 718. It's Suleiman the Scholar himself. Talk to us, brother.
How you doing, Ness?
Happy to have you, man. Hello? What did you think of Errol Spence, the Truth, out there in Coney Island?
Well, like I said before, the guy was older. He was a little more flat-footed. He tried to put the fight on Errol, and Errol, did his thumb for the first round, right? And he started working him, and his power prevailed. The guy's a small fighter. It's a miracle he made 6 rounds. He made 6 rounds in that fight. I mean, he couldn't box him because Errol was bigger. He's a bigger man. So he tried to go in there and overpower him, but it didn't work. Miller's another one. He's a big fighter. I think he should just get a couple of fights in there, right? And so opportunity arise. And you know what I would like to see? I would like to see like a Super 6 in a welterweight division, like Errol Spence fighting for the vacant title and trying to unify at the same time against Keith Thurman. Because that way Keith Thurman will give him an incentive to fight for that fight. Not only is he fighting for the vacant IBF belt, but he's also defending his belt against a top-notch contender. And that way they'll knock two birds with one stone, because he'll get the IBF belt, right? And then on top of that, he'll beat Errol Spence. And if Errol Spence beat him, he'll be IBF champion, he'll be a unified champion. Then it'll also give an incentive for Danny to fight him. They should make a unified thing, like something like what Tyson did back in the day. Just go in there and just have him be the #1 contender for the IBF belt, Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia, because they dry up with contenders anyway, and just put him in there. And if he knocks him out, or whoever the winner is, put him with Danny Garcia, because these guys are high-paid fighters anyway. And Manny Pacquiao won $15 million, so let's make a Super 6 in the welterweight division. All these guys are hungry for money, right? They want $15 million per fight, so make a Super 6. All these promoters make a Super 6, and they'll be happy. They all make money. So you have her good evening.
All right, Suleiman, thanks for calling in. As always, we're going to head now to Columbus, Ohio. Jay Will, talk to us, brother. Damn. Talk to us.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, man. It's been my dude ever since he came out the Olympics, pretty much. So I was geeked. I was over here screaming and shit. So I was pumped to see the way he stopped him. So he definitely made a statement. Kell Brook ain't gonna come back down to fight him, so that shit ain't gonna happen. He's gonna vacate, and that's what that situation is gonna be. The one thing I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess people got this attitude: you can't believe until you see it done. But it's like I don't understand. Like, I'm gonna put it like this: they don't beat everybody in the motherfucking top fight. He is the motherfucking man at welterweight, hands down. And any way you want to question it, I got an easy rebuttal. So there's no way. At the end of the day, let's talk about Danny. He ain't fought nobody for real at welterweight to be calling him the man. I mean, Robert Guerrero, the same guy who didn't want to fight Errol anyway, who denied to fight Errol. So I mean, and then we say that Errol gets hit a lot. That is a little downfall, but I mean, I don't think he's really intimidated by these little guys' power. So I think he's really walking through shit, knowing that, hey, I may take one to get something better. So I mean, it's kind of the gift and the curse. I think he'll be a little bit more responsible if he was in there with a little bit better competition. But I mean, Keith Thurman gets hit. We all know Soto Karaj had him doing the fucking stanky leg. We all know what Collazo did to him. I mean, shit, Porter had that motherfucker hurt, and we all know Danny gets hit. So it's like, I mean, everybody's going to get hit, especially when you're fighting against better competition. But
nobody ever had Danny hurt, did they? I'm asking.
This is the thing that separates Errol.
But let me ask you. I'm asking because I don't know, right? Like, you remember Danny being hurt? Anybody remember he got punched and was hurt? I think the Judah fight, right?
Matisse had that nigga hurt.
I think the Judah
Matisse, yes. Yeah. Judah and Matisse had him hurt. But at the end of the day, this is the difference between Errol and the rest of the welterweight fighters. Like, let's start with Keith one time. He got that one-time power. If he sometimes, let's say sometimes, but if he hits you in the face, he's going to drop you, or he might, daze you, but he's going to definitely finish you. Danny's the same thing. They don't never bully their opponent. Errol is bullying grown men, making them quit within 6 rounds. That's a totally different way to dominate an opponent. It's not waiting for one punch. That's just this jab to the body. It's hurting you every time I touch you with it, so that's breaking you down. This hook to the body is breaking you down, and every time I touch you with it, it's taking those teams out your punches. At the end of the day, they don't perform the same way Errol does at welterweight. They're going to try to wait this boy out, make him go to 154, I mean, let's be honest. He looked like the same size as motherfucking Demetrius Andre. They look damn near the same size. Errol looks huge in there, man. Don't nobody. I mean, Danny's a small welterweight, so I give him an excuse why he would probably never ever get into the ring with Errol.
Cut it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, don't take it personal, but there is a time limit. Santiago in Los Angeles, talk to us.
Hey guys, what's up? Butter Sunday. Clarissa Shields wins her second gold medal, and now we get to see this, and we still got like another 48 minutes to go before we can watch Heather Hardy versus Kelly Vincent on NBCSN. So far, so good for a Sunday. Let's get straight to the topics. For all intents and purposes, Errol looked to me like I would expect someone to look at 20-0. Against Bundu, because I liked how poised he was. He stuck to his game. He didn't let the fact that Bundu was trying to rush him, get to him. And that right hook to the head, oh God, man, it's very rare for me to see anyone get knocked out the way Bundu did. I mean, for me, that one up Mason Menard's knockout on Showbox, and that guy lost his fucking leg. He was still trying to stand up. But for all intents and purposes, I'd have to say that he partially won up Thurman, simply because, like I said, he looked like someone I would expect to look like at 20-0. But that power is real. That power is real, and I look forward to seeing him fight a little bit more often and hopefully get a better fighter in there too, considering that Bundu is, 41 years old now. So unless you guys have any other questions you want to ask me, that's pretty much my call for the day.
Did you get to see the Gerald Baby Miller fight?
Yeah, I always catch Showbox. I never miss an episode, and if I can, I also record them. Fucking hell, man. Gerald Miller, 296. He reminds me of Butterbean, except he's actually trying to make a go for the, for contendership. The way the Fred Cassie fight ended, I was a little disappointed, but he did what he did, and he had a good point because Deontay Wilder broke his hand against, Arreola, and he kept fighting, so he has a point there. But I do agree that he's not ready yet for Wilder. Wilder, I think, is still a little up above him, and he could probably still take a probably decision against him. Because 296, holy hell, man! I don't know any modern day heavyweights who weigh that much. The only one I can think of is possibly Tyson Fury, and that's only because he's 6'9".
Well, all right, brother. I just wanted to get your take on that, man. Thank you for calling in all the way from Los Angeles. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on YouTube and if you're watching this or listening to this on iTunes, drop us a 5-star review.
Remember to rate us 5 stars
you
on
can
iTunes.
You could always catch this on the podcast when you're in your gym or in your drive to work. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit us with the thumbs up because we definitely
Not to mention, there's 300 and something people right now watching this live. Hit that thumbs up because it's not just for us. It's for the callers. You love the callers. The more callers that call in, you get those those all-time greats like Georgie Porgies. If we can extend our net, we'll get those callers. So just hit that thumbs up. It takes you 2 seconds. What's the matter with you?
Those thumbs up help with the visibility of the show, just as do the iTunes reviews. So remember, it's very important.
Join us every Thursday and Sunday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
We're going to go with Rod from Philadelphia. Talk to us.
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with a lot with what James was saying about with Errol Spence, man. He's a real deal. I think honestly, as far as power goes, though, I think he has so much power because he's really a 154-pounder that can just make it to 147. He's just physically bullying these guys, but technically he's still a really good fighter. And I don't, the only person I see maybe giving him trouble or being able to keep up with him power-wise would be somebody like Keith Thurman. I don't think Danny would even have a chance with him in the ring for real. So, but he's a really good fighter. I think he outclassed Bundu, and Keith Thurman said it himself. He was like, I'm going to be watching that fight to see how he does against Bundu, because he was a tricky fight for him. And if he was watching, what do you think he's saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's that's my take on that. But as far as the Gerald Miller, I think he's a really heavyweight fighter to watch, man, because he's a former kickboxer just like Dillian White, and he's got a lot of power, and he's like he knows how to move with it for like a guy so big. I think he should fight someone like Dillian White. Honestly, I think they should fight. Two guys with power. I mean, Dillian White shook up Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that could be a good test.
Yo, where did you guys see this Miller fight at? Everyone saw it, but me. What's going on? I heard Showtime Extreme. All right, I'll have to check that out after this. Okay.
Cut it.
Skirt. Later, caller. Going all the way to Indiana, 317. Oh, wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, damn, I'm going to take a shot in the dark. It might be the one and only Black Superman.
They call me Black Superman.
Whoa, you are wrong. This other guy here.
God damn, we're going to get you an intro called The Other Not
Guy.
Black Superman.
The other guy.
That's what happens when you ain't got a
right,
producer.
the guy.
Oh, man. Go for it, brother. Talk to us. Yo, what is your name? We're gonna make sure this doesn't happen no more, man. This is embarrassing at this point.
I'm D-Ammo. Give me some gunshot. Give me some click clacks or something. D-Ammo.
D-Ammo.
Yo, he should be like Venom Superman. He's the opposite of Spider-Man. He's the Venom Superman.
Oh yeah, right. That'll be good.
That's lame.
All right, brother. Well, talk to us, D-Ammo. You better hit us with some ammo.
Yeah, he's telling me my nicknames are lame. You better live up to your hype then.
What?
Never mind. It was a bad joke. Keep going. You're good. Bad joke. Keep going.
Live up to the hype of your name. If you ammo, start busting some shots.
Spence beats every fucking body at 147. Everybody. Line them all up. Pacquiao, Thurman, Danny, Bradley, Vargas, Broner, every motherfucking body all going down.
The firing squad.
Career ender. Spence will be the career ender. Watch. He's going to end shit. He's going to end motherfucking shit. Thurman ain't shit. He'll beat the shit out of Thurman's ass right now. Not playing. He's the truth. Look at this.
You got Ness speechless right now.
Why are you hating on Spence just because he fought a 41? You know everybody ducked him. Constantine ducked him. Jeff Horn, Lamont Peterson, Vasquez, Sammy Vasquez, everybody ducked him. So when the only guy who says, yeah, I'll fight him, fights him, you can't say, oh, he was 41. What can he do? Peterson, I thought Peterson would take the fight. He didn't. Even Spence in the interview, he said, yeah, Peterson, I think he'll fight me. He ain't scared. And look what happened. Nope. And Bundu had Thurman ass running all around the fucking ring, man. Running all night. Didn't want to mix it up. Didn't want to bang nothing. And the excuse, I couldn't figure him out. I wanted to do it. No, you just couldn't fucking do shit with him. The Spence, Spence didn't kill Bundu, man. His eyes rolled to the back of his head. He was fucking damn near dead.
Yo, and it's not just that he was. It was not just able the way he did it. We always talk about the uppercuts. It was what I watch when I watch a fight is not that you're just able to throw the uppercut. Just like Gennady Golovkin, I'll put him in the same category. I love the caller that said that before. He could throw an uppercut low. He could throw an uppercut mid. He could throw it up a little bit higher. He changes the angle in which the punches are delivered to you. It's not just he just throws a certain punch and it lands like a Danny Garcia left hook. He's able to throw it from different angles and throw it at different, I guess, angles is another word I'm going to use, I guess, but just the way he delivers them, he changes his delivery each time he throws it, depending on where your head's going to go. That's why I will say the eye test here is showing me that this guy's going to be amazing. I'm sure the caller agrees. All the callers before him have agreed. Ness, you've been killed on this show. You need to defend yourself soon. You need to defend yourself.
I'm not going to go the villain route, dude. I liked what Earl did. Why are you trying to make me the bad guy? Listen, if you're watching this, hit us with them thumbs up. Very important. We're going to go to 202. That is DC. Talk to us. Washington, D.C. New caller. That's what I like. So you already know how this goes, right? We in the hallway right now before we get out, you know, before we hit the arena. You know how this goes or you need to be prepped?
I know how it goes, brother. Let it go.
Let this bitch. I need you to come in like Adonis Creed right now, walking into the ring, getting ready for that.
That's right, Adonis Creed.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
It's the Brock JMS, jab move slipping and just making sense. What's up, TBV?
What's going on? Now that was a lot of names.
Ain't
So
nothing,
is it Brock? Brock? Like Lesnar?
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar, JMS. That's short for jab, moving and slipping. And I always make sense. Just making sense, bro.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
All right, first off, let me just start it off. First off, let me start with some positives. I like to give both fighters positive, winner and loser. Spence, I like the way he kept working the jab. He kept that body work going with the left hook. It paid off in the end. Bundu, even though he lost the fight, he kept the pressure. He gave Spence a little bit of different look, different than what he was used to. But he actually looked old in the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the outcome was what it was, and it was an expected outcome. Now, some of the negatives I want to mention in the fight, at least from my perspective of Spence, is that he still looked stationary. He still looked a little stiff, flat-footed. And I ain't seen nothing different from any of his previous fights, and he lacks head movement, man. Any boxer, anybody who's been watching boxing needs to know that you need head movement in the game. And a lot of these callers and a lot of people on the street right now, they discrediting my man Thurman based on this win. You know, he's Spence fighting Bundu 2 years later. You know, 2 years can do a lot to an athlete, especially a boxer. So to discredit Thurman based on Spence KOing my man Bundu, I find that a little ludicrous. So, I mean, with that said, I'm just going to keep moving on. With that said, I think before we can put Spence in that top five, that top six, I think he need to climb one more set of stairs, and he need to face Sean Porter. If he beats Sean Porter, or if he performs well against Sean Porter, then and only then can we put him or credit him and say he's ready for a Thurman or somebody like a Kell Brook. That's my call, man.
So Porter's your number one choice, though, because that's one of our topics. You want Porter number one over anyone else in the welterweight division?
No doubt, man. I'm gonna say the reason why I'm calling Sean Porter's name is because one, Keith Thurman beat Porter, and because two, Kell Brook beat Porter. So if Spence want to get a name in the welterweight, if Spence want to get a name in the welterweight division, he can fight Sean Porter. Let's see how he can handle Sean Porter's pressure. He pulls it off. Then and only then will I jump on the bandwagon for Spence, because I'm a fighter myself. I used to fight myself. I know boxing, and what I've seen from Spence today, I'm not going to jump on the wagon and support the guy 100% based on what I saw today. He got to fight Porter. That's my call, man. Later.
So real quick, before you bail, I want to ask you and Ness both a question. Yes or no will be fine, because I know we want to keep moving. Did this win make Errol Spence enough of a name for Sean Porter to take the fight? Yes or no?
I believe that Sean Porter would sell the tickets for the fight. I mean, after the Keith Thurman fight, Sean Porter definitely gained a lot of fans, and everybody know that. So I believe that the marketing value of Sean Porter would actually boost up Errol Spence's notoriety in the 147 and in the boxing for itself. The only other person that I could see Spence actually fighting, I'll give him the low end would be a Danny Garcia, and the very low end, which would make business sense, would be a Adrian Broner from a business perspective, because everybody knows Adrian Broner. And Adrian Broner is about billions, so you know he's gonna market his own shit.
Cut it.
Sorry, my friend. We do have a time limit, but I will say, James, I don't think he understood the question. Brock, the question was, would Sean take the fight? Does Sean Porter think now with Errol Spence's performance, he is marquee enough name to fight? I think not. I think after being on the stage with Keith Thurman, being witness, putting also, doing what others won't do, fighting the best in your division, I think just like Thurman, he doesn't want to look back. I think he's still trying to get a Berto or a Garcia, bigger names in the division that bring popularity and bigger paychecks than Errol Spence. Errol Spence got paid $250,000 and Leonard Bundu got $30,000. You tell me, does Sean Porter want to fight Errol Spence? That being said, we're gonna go out to back to DC. Actually, got a lot of DC callers tonight, and another first-time caller. So you should know the rules and the tradition. So we're going to go ahead and play this intro and allow you to introduce yourself. 202, you're live on the Boxing Voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
What up, Ness? All around strong, all day long, straight out the nation's cap, the whole DMV. What's good, baby? What's up to TBV?
What's going on, brother? What you got to say about this Errol Spence fight, man? Did he make a good enough statement?
Oh yeah, he definitely made a statement, man. He made a statement the last fight. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not saying Chris Algieri was pound for pound, but the way he broke Younger down and he damn near was in tears after the fight. And then I seen the same thing today. Younger was outside the ropes and he gave the referee he gave him like the no more signal. Like he was like, I don't want no more. And I'm trying to tell you, my man from DC before me, he said something about Errol Spence's head movement. I could see that. I could see where he coming from, but at the end of the day, man, dude is a special fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you, Ness. We talk at the fights and all that. I don't really see nobody at welterweight messing with him. I think Kell Brook, Danny Garcia, and Keith Thurman probably about a 50-50 fight. But I'm going to jump out there. I know it might not happen because of the size difference, but I would love to see Errol Spence Jr. fight somebody like Terrence Crawford. They both southpaws, both got a rack of skills, and they both thinkers in that ring. I just think he's a little too big for Terrence Crawford. But he's a special fighter, man. I don't really got much else to say. But, yeah, I'm on here. I finally got through. I've been trying to get through for months. But shout out to the Boxing Voice, man. Y'all doing great things. And, yeah, Errol Spence, man, I'm impressed, man.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much for calling in. And, for everybody out there, I know sometimes it gets a little bit difficult to get in, but we appreciate you guys all being patient. We appreciate you guys definitely, calling us up and airing it out, basically letting us know how you're feeling and what you thought of the fight, right? So we got a lot of more callers out there. We're going to get to them all. 1-425-569-5241, or you can Skype us internationally. Call in for free just by adding Nestor Gibbs at the Boxing Voice here on Skype. Just add us. And remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. We're trying to get to 1,000 this time around.
Yo, I'm back again. I think we had that special show on Friday. Did I call it or did I not call it? Uppercut, right hook. We bring that shit back, man. Let's bring it back.
I wish I could bring that. You would have to tell me ahead of time to clip that.
Hey, ain't no big deal. But look, though, it was a good performance by Errol Spence. Everybody, I hear a lot of callers commenting. He was 41, Keith Thurman 39, but a lot changed in 2 years. Who knows? But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of things. They keep talking about hand moving, this, that, and the other. He parried a lot of shots. A lot of that shot is getting grazed. Errol Spence, his defense is pretty tight if you think about it, because Bundu, he tried to throw the overhand right. He couldn't shoot the right hand down the middle as much. Thurman get hit a lot. Garcia get hit a lot. He let Mauricio Hero paint him in Puerto Rico. He let the Ghost, I don't know if he's 50, paint him in the last fight. I don't know who won that to this day. Same with Lamont Peterson. 147, it's up in the air. Garcia, TKO, Palomalaji. He ain't knocked nobody out since. Keith Thurman, he had a good showing against Sean Porter. Still up in the air about that. We do know all the common opponents between Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. He making it look easy work. So if you look at it, I think Kenny Porter made a statement a long time ago, maybe 5 months ago, right before the Thurman fight. Oh, pump your brakes on Errol Spence. He hasn't fought anybody. Who you want him to fight? I mean, welterweight division looking pretty thin outside of Pacquiao and Floyd. They gone now. So who we got? Bradley? Who we got? Sean Porter? Kell Brook? Who we got? Who we want him to fight? I mean, he's fighting everybody. Trying to stay active because it's a mental game. They trying not to get a kid to fight title shots, but he's staying active. So you can't knock somebody that's hungry and he coming. So who up? Who up next? Who up next? I mean, Garcia, who we fighting? Berto? Come on, man. So Berto deserves a title shot. I'm trying to figure out this whole welterweight division. They duck the guys that's some killers and go fight people they say that's money fights. Berto a money fight now? Since Floyd fought him, I guess he a money fight now. I'm confused. I thought PBC was supposed to bring boxing back to network so everybody can fight, not run, duck, and hide with the belts. I want some clarification here. Errol Spence putting everybody down. I put Bundu down and stick, put Algieri down and foe. He putting Keith Thurman down.
Cut it.
Ness, let me jump in real quick right there, because I think that PBC does want to bring the best fights to TV. It's does the fighters want to fight the best on TV? I think that's the difference right now. I don't think it's PBC holding them back. I think it's the fighters understanding the trend that we're in, that you can fight someone a little lower level than you and still make the same money. We're talking about a profession where if this is your lifetime, and I'm on YouTube right now, a tenth of that is where you make all the money that you'll have for the rest of your life. So I think that fighters are understanding that they need to make as much money as possible. I think it's the fighters themselves. I don't think it's PBC that's holding back the great matchups.
And remember, there isn't a lot of time for all the callers because we want to get to everyone. That number is 425-569-5241. So if you get the cut it soundbite, you know you had to go because it's someone else's time to go, and just don't take it personal.
It's just one of them days. Don't take it personal.
GT Kid from Atlanta, talk to us. You're up.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Real quick. I said last show I called in. I said Spence has been doing what he's supposed to do, just knocking down everybody that they put in front of him, and that's what he did today. He looked good. He looked strong. He needs to get his shot. I don't think Kell Brook's going to make it back down to 147. So, I guess he's going to fight for the interim against whoever the IBF other guy is, So at that point, I think it's a matter of time before, we try to get some unifications, which would be good. Danny, I know a lot of people have been saying it. I think Boxing MD and a couple other people. I'm going to say the same thing, though. Danny Garcia is dead man walking at 147. I've been saying it for a while, and I don't know what he's going to do. He better fight Andre Berto, and then he better try and pull up somebody from 140, or I don't know what he's going to do, but he's a dead man walking. Power didn't come up. He looked terrible against Malignaggi. He didn't look that good against Guerrero, and Guerrero's washed up. So, he's just when he gets up to the upper echelon of 147, he's done. He's going to take several L's.
Did you say that Danny Garcia looked terrible against Paul Malignaggi, though?
Yeah. If you go back and watch the fight, Paul's a good boxer, but he has no power. So,
but bro, you can't say that Danny Garcia looked terrible against Malignaggi. He looked great against Malignaggi. He dominated from start to finish. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm not disputing that he dominated, but let's look at the fight. He threw a lot of shots and missed a lot of shots because Paulie's a good boxer. but he threw a lot of shots because he didn't have to worry about any return fire at all. He did at 147. Polynar now he wasn't knocking people out at 140. At 147, he's feather fisted. I mean, we know this. So yeah, Danny Garcia dominated, sure, because there's nothing coming back in return. But I mean, realistically, if Danny fights a real 147 fighter, if he fights Sean Porter or Keith Thurman or Mayweather or Pacquiao or Bradley or Spence, that's not the case. And that chin's going to get checked. That's exactly what's going to happen. He looks like shit against boxers, which is exactly what happened. Malignaggi slipped. A lot of those punches he was throwing, he still got hit some, but again, Danny Garcia just threw an abundance of punches. So, I mean, it doesn't really improve anything except for that Malignaggi's not a 147.
Cut it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, keeping it moving. 559, Alex Lemon. We have no clue where you're calling from, Alex. Where's 559 at?
Oh, 559 is Fresno, California, man.
All right, now we know, and no one's after battle.
Yeah. Hey, Ness, you're gonna have to do a whole nother show, man, on Danny Garcia or top 5 welterweights or something, because I can't believe he's being dismissed and disrespected so badly.
Yo, we actually got an on-demand show that we will be announcing. It is going to be on Who is the Best Heavyweight, courtesy of Azim Khan from the chat. So we will be getting to that. It is an on-demand episode. Remember, that is, if there's ever something you want to debate, like will Errol Spence Jr. destroy Danny Garcia, all you got to do is head over to the on-demand page on theboxingvoice.com and purchase a quick episode, and we'll gladly bring you some factual information and open up the phone lines for the people to decide.
Yeah. I got to do top 5 welterweights because I got Danny in there. Everyone's putting Spence. I mean, Spence did great. He looked good today. He did what I wanted him to do. I'm giving Spence props, but I can't. I mean, everyone's getting carried away. I mean, this guy just took out a 41-year-old Bundu, and they're putting him over 32-0 WBC welterweight champion Danny Garcia, who they say he's gotten hit, he's gotten hurt in fights, but at the end of the day, he wins. That's the heart of a champion. I mean, it's a boxing match. People get hit, and that's what's going to happen. And Timothy Bradley's being mentioned. I mean, they're saying about the chin. I mean, Timothy Bradley. I mean, did anybody see the Provodnikov fight? What he did to Bradley? Bradley got hard. I don't want to talk shit about him either. But I just can't believe that Danny Garcia is being dismissed so badly in the way he is, caller after call.
I hear you, man.
That's mainly what I got, Ness.
All right, Alex. Well, thanks for calling in and speaking your piece. This is the voice of the people, ladies and gentlemen. Voice your opinions. Become a regular. Be known. Get famous like.
Fuck you. Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. Fuck you. Like, when I see some motherfucker just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Fuck you. Don't need that shit. You don't love that form I do? Fuck you. Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next, what a great show. Time stop, donate. Hey, yo.
What's up, Georgie? Georgie Porgy in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's going on with James, with that nigga?
Right here.
Yo, I'm here. I'm showing off my dog on the YouTube cam.
No, it's always an excuse when I come around. I don't know. These people start falling like flies and shit. They're kind of suspicious.
Yo, Porgy, why you always act like you're being ducked? You're not, bro. Everyone's coming for you. Stop it.
Yo, nice seeing you around, James. Cause you the type of nigga get heat, but don't crack. Never crack. And you step up to the challenge. I give you that, bro. Nice seeing you around, man.
You too, bro.
Everybody on the shotty. I want to thank everybody on the shotty for the thumbs up. We gotta make it to 300 people. Ness, they already, the network already picked up for the Mafia show. It's being picked up by Pittsburgh Brew Productions. So I guess that's going to happen soon. I know you got a lot of shit to do before that, because a lot of shows that you got to catch up on demand, but you can dog me forever. So now that the shit is official, you let me know the day, okay, buddy?
No, you're funny. Like my man James said, man, you're the only guy. You're like Gennady Golovkin running around here talking about that you're feared when you got me and James stepping up to the plate left and right, man. Knock it off. Like you said, Brewster Network picked it up. Brewster Network picked it up. We already got a fight. We ain't even got to talk. We ain't even got to talk. We ain't got to talk.
Sign the contract already, man.
Fam. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a quick question.
Stop it.
Let me ask you a quick question. What network does Errol Spence fight on? Who he's with?
What network?
Who he's with?
He's with your baby daddy.
All right, so how you going to defend it? How everybody that's here is here to watch Errol Spence. Everybody's here to talk about Errol Spence. You're going to be the only one talking about that this is bad. This ain't bad, you bad.
I'm not talking about that nigga right now, man, but I got to make sure you don't come out with that fucking wavering shit that you do, because you be just Spider-Man. All the time looking for that way out and looking for the way you know to fulfill your destiny, which is
30 seconds.
From Georgie Porgy. So stop it.
30 seconds.
Yo, everything is the truth. I'm going to stop taking my minutes, man. Listen, Errol Spence is the truth. The man's a little untested because of the position that we put in front of him. It's just a matter of time. We cannot rush, dude. But I'm from the old school. Daniel's got to be tested right from the back. Like Trinidad was a young champion. Fernando Vargas was a young champion. And all these people that you know that I love growing up and whatnot. So anybody support out there who's watching the YouTube, it's important for us to make it to the 300 thumbs up.
Cut it.
Bastards.
All right, Georgie Porgy, thank you for calling in, brother. 914 New York City, you are up. Who's this? 914.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
All right, first time caller. Hold on.
Okay, all right. I'm not a first time caller, though.
All right, perfect. Well, can you speak into the mic, though?
Yeah, man. Happy New Year.
All right, talk to us.
All right. Well, all right. Listen, first and foremost, Spence made a hell of a statement. Checked all the boxes for me. I think he's coming out of his shell a little bit. He's feeling himself, marketability. That's all good. People dismissing Danny Garcia stylistically, yeah, he's got flaws. Maybe his power hasn't come up, but he didn't look like shit in the Napoleon Malignaggi fight. And who has had an easy fight with Guerrero? I don't know anybody who has. Anyway, Thurman, to me, dynamically, style-wise, is the only person that's going to take Errol Spence out of his zone, because Errol Spence, just like everybody else has said, has extreme balance. He is like the Gennady Golovkin of the welterweight division, but in the sense that he is balanced at all times. So the only person that's going to be able to take him out of that is somebody who throws awkward shots, which is Thurman. Everybody else, even somebody like Porter, who just rushes in with his body but still throws conventional punches, is not going to really do as well as people think they are against somebody as strong as Spence, because we saw what Kell Brook was able to do with Porter, pretty much nullify his strength. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Spence did great. I think it's sky's the limit for the kid. That's it, man.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going to head to Pennsylvania. 484, talk to us.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
First time caller?
This is first time caller.
All right. How long you been listening?
I've been listening for just a couple months, but
how'd you find
I
us?
felt the need to call. What's that?
How'd you find us?
I found you guys on Facebook.
All right. Listen, so do you know the tradition around here? Because you're a first-time caller, we have an intro. We need you to introduce yourself. We need you to give us a little enthusiasm. Let the world know who you are, all right? So once you hear that intro, you go after it. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut,
Ronald Cruz.
Damn, man, tell me you're not Ronald Cruz, the fighter.
Yes, sir.
Get the fuck out of here. You're lying.
That's why I felt the need to call, because, I went.
Now, wait a minute. This is not Ronald Cruz that went and fought Errol Spence, that's from Philly, that fought Antoine Smith. I know you well. We've interviewed you. This is not Ronald Cruz. I'm about to check your number because I got your number in my phone. Anyway, go ahead. Keep talking, Ronald.
Yeah, I mean, I think, from my insight for Errol Spence, I think he definitely is the truth. To me, he's like an old school fighter. Nothing flashy, not very flashy. Just goes in there and does his job very, very well. Goes to the body, he paces his punches perfectly to the body, and then comes up to the head, which is the bread and butter of boxing. Hit the body first, and then knock the head off.
Ronald, I just want to say you're fucking awesome. You're awesome. I just checked the phone number. That's really you. Listen, yo, I heard you turn into a trainer now. Is that true? You training?
Well, I don't have a lot of time on my hands. I do work with a couple fighters, but I'm not their I'm not their head trainer. I'm just helping them out for now, and then when I have more time, then I'll get into being the head trainer.
That's awesome, brother. Well, man, I want to thank you. Obviously, if you got anything else you want to say, any social media you want to give out, obviously, for our listeners.
Ronald, real quick, before you do that, you have in-ring experience with this man. You've been in there with a lot of top names. You were a huge up-and-coming prospect. So let me ask you, I know you say Errol Spence is the truth, but what makes him the truth? What was different about him than any other fighter that you fought that you saw? Because, I mean, having someone like you, I guess, given the stamp of approval is different than us on the show or even the fans.
Right. Well, the thing with Errol, I think his best asset is his timing. Aside from him having so many great tools, his timing is probably the best. He times you very, very well to the body, and that straight left hand right up the middle. He times it well when you throw a jab at him. He caught me with a nice straight left hand, which is probably the only time where I thought I got really hurt in the fight. But I played it off really well, and he didn't notice. Otherwise, he would have jumped on me. But that straight left hand, he hurt me with that. And his right hook is very powerful. And like I said, I think he is the truth. And old school fighter, not very flashy, just goes in there and does his thing, and definitely next world champion coming up soon.
Hey, Ronald. So obviously we were asking our listeners who they think that Kell Brook would take the fight, or is he going to vacate? Your boxing knowledge, what do you think is going to happen? Is he going to stick around after that Gennady Golovkin fight, or do we all just have to wait to see what happens?
I think he'll vacate. I don't think he'll go back to welterweight again. He'll be up at 160 once you put that weight on. Yeah, he's gonna want to feel comfortable at 160. So it's not like he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna cut back down to 147. He was already having problems making 147. So going up to 160 and then coming back down, you already know what happened to Roy Jones after he tried that. Going up to heavyweight and then coming back down again. So I don't think he'll probably move back down to 154 and do his thing there. And he probably does get stopped by Triple G.
And I know you've been hearing all the hate Garcia's been getting as a fellow Puerto Rican. Do you think that he is the weakest link in that welterweight division, or is this some unjust hate?
Back me up, Ronald.
No, that's definitely disrespectful to hate on a world-class fighter like that. Like you said, he fought Kendall Hall. He fought so many big names, man. He was a unified champion at 140, and for people to disrespect him like that, that's not cool. Now at 147, he still has to prove himself. I think Andre Berto, I think he definitely knocks him out. And then after Andre Berto, then we'll have to wait and see what who he fights next. If he fights Andre Berto.
Well, Ronald, man, we want to thank you. I just told everybody in the chat, you made my night, man. When fighters call in, this is amazing. I want to thank you again for calling in. We're going to keep it moving because this is a jam-packed show. Remember, that number is 425-569-5241. Press 1 if you want to talk, you want to get it off your chest. You never know what you're going to get here. We just got, a top contender call in. Rochester, New York, 585. You're up. Who's this?
Yes, your boy, Pesos.
Pesos, what's up?
Hello?
What's going on? You said Pesos,
man.
right?
First time calling, man.
Well, we got to introduce you, man. You calling in with all that. You calling in with all that swag like you've been calling in a long time. Now we got to do it all over. We got to introduce you. How long you been listening?
Shit, like a couple months.
How'd you find us?
YouTube. I just been watching y'all on YouTube. Then I downloaded y'all on the podcast.
Perfect. All right, so you know the tradition around here. We're gonna play this first time caller intro, okay?
You already know.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
It's your boy from the 585 ROC. PESOS. Let's get it.
All right, Peso, well, talk to us, man. Did Errol Spence make the statement that you like?
Yeah, definitely, man. He definitely the truth. He has a great jab. Like his jab to the body and the head, just he keeps it steady and you know what I mean? He's real solid. So I see him as a top contender at 147, probably the best right now. You know what I mean? He's gonna give a lot of problems to everybody.
Damn, the best? The best right now?
Definitely, man. You know what I'm saying? And Danny Garcia, he gonna spank Danny for sure. You know what I mean? He'll spank Danny, but I don't think that fight will ever happen. And
he says spank.
He'll beat Thurman because
yeah, James. He being real disrespectful, James. He said he gonna spank Danny Garcia like he's somebody.
Yo, when Danny Garcia sees Errol Spence, he needs to tuck that chain like fucking Debo. You gotta tuck that chain. Oh shit, here comes Earl. Tuck those chains up. Let's get out of here.
Danny been here before. Everybody thought he was running, ducking, and hiding from the boogeyman and Matisse. Now he ain't no machine, so they're trying to find another machine. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
You already know, man. Yeah, but that's all I wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? I'll be calling up more. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We're gonna go none other than the WBC champ himself, bravely stepping into a division outside of his own. You know, Joey from Indiana. He's only about 135 pounds, and he's moving in to fight the 190-pound Enrique Church, putting his lineal Ring Magazine title up against Joey's WBC title that he won at the first ever TBV Appreciation Night. I give you Joey from Indiana. Joey, what's going on, brother?
Damn, that's 135 pounds? Bro, I'm 175.
What? You looking skinny. You better put on some weight.
Yo, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for one fucking bit. You're 175 because I'm 170. There's no way you weigh more than me. There's no way.
Yo, Joey, you better use our Amazon link to get you some fucking creatine if you 175.
Bro, you must got some muscle, and those dreads or those braids must add 15 pounds. What's the matter? Are you kidding me?
Hey, Ness, I'm gonna be real quick because I know you got a lot of. You asked me yesterday what was the biggest mismatch in boxing history, and it just crossed my mind. Casual thinking he could go up against me. That's the biggest mismatch ever, man.
Oh,
but anyway,
man.
let me get it to it, Ness.
Yo, give him a shot for that. You need to give him shots for Casual for not being here.
No, Ness, I'm gonna be real quick though, man. Man, Errol Spence. I mean, I'm the biggest Thurman fan out there, man. I flew to New York to watch him, but man, when that fight does happen, if it happens, I may not bet on that fight, man. Spence is he's got all the weapons, man. I mean, he's fully equipped, and it's impressive at his age. Most guys it takes them a while to develop over time. But it seems like right now this guy's got the goods, man. So I salute him, and I like his attitude about the sport. He seems like a positive guy. So for us boxing fans, man, just enjoy the show because we got a special talent right here, man. So we really need to, just appreciate his skill set. And I wish the Danny Garcia hate would go away too, man. It's just gonna take. I don't think he's ever gonna get his just due. That's just the way it is. And then going on to Big Baby Miller, man. I like him, Ness. I've always been a big fan, and James of shit talkers. Like Mayoga and all them old school guys, man. So I really like him. I like that he's from Brooklyn. Everything about him I like, man. I mean, he's a big dude. I just hope his promoter can maybe give him a big fight within the next year or so. And then as far as Spence, I would like to see him go up against Sean Porter. I just think because I do like Sean. I know he had a big loss, but if Sean, if he wants to get back in that top 5 again, he would have to take out Spence. So that'd be my call, man. Any questions before I get up out of here, Ness? Are y'all good?
Man,
I gotta get back to training, man.
Man, you covered it all, man.
Like
Yeah, get back to training because I don't want to be responsible for you losing that belt, man. There you have it, Joey, the WBC champ. Don't forget he's gonna be unifying only on TBV pay-per-view. 310. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Well, it ain't without Info Joe. What up?
Info Joe, what's going on, brother?
How y'all doing?
All right, all right.
Great show, brothers. Great show. Hey, Joey, man, you should call out with an injury, man.
Call out with a hand injury, Joey.
Hey, man, well, okay, let's get on to the fights. Spence, man, he passed every test from me but the chin test. It's a difference between having a shootout. Once the firepower coming back, you tend to box different. You ain't going to walk nobody down with the same firepower at that time. That's the only question I have.
Joe, you're breaking up a little bit, brother. What's going on?
Info Joe, we're gonna come back to you, man. Make a new connection, buddy. You sounding really bad over there. We're gonna head over to Skype. We're gonna go to I believe David from Uruguay. David, talk to us.
Hey, how we doing, guys? We doing good?
Oh shit, Australia. Australia, right?
No, it's David.
Oh shit. All right, David.
You're so nationalistic, Ness. You're always saying everyone's from Australia. Yo, stand up, David, stand up. Where are you from?
Good. I got a strange accent, so I've got no problem with him getting it mixed up. It's no big deal. But but first off, I think it shows a sorry state of boxing's in when you've got a guy having to fight better opposition to become mandatory than the champion's facing.
Well, the champion does have that Porter win.
Yeah. Well, Porter when he was a lot younger, but still, the last 3 fights, Spencer's had to fight better fights to get this mandatory slot than Brooks had while he's been champion. You know what I mean?
Yo, but Brook has taken the biggest challenge. I would say Gennady Golovkin's more of a challenge than anyone in the welterweight division, so man up to him.
I also think that Brooks fucked himself there because once he loses to Golovkin, which I'm sure he will do, he's not going to be taken seriously at middleweight because he's had 1 fight there, and he's not going to be taken seriously at welterweight. And then I don't think he's going to get back down. I mean, he's struggling now to get 147, so I really don't think he's going to be able to get down to 147 to fight Spence. And I think Spence looked incredible today. His conditioning is mental. He could just throw power shots all day. And I'm actually jealous of America for having an up-and-comer like that. I think all Americans should get behind him and not worry so much about whether or not he's the real deal or who could beat who. Just be happy. I'd be really happy with that.
Well, that's it, David?
Just one more thing. And also, if you are American, you've got Thurman on one hand, who's giving you fight of the year against Porter, and then says he wants to fight on free TV, and then you've got Spence on the other hand, who looks incredible. So it's a great time. I couldn't believe all the negativity I've been hearing from Americans about American fighters and saying, oh, he couldn't beat him and he's shit and he's shit and he's shit. Just enjoy it. I would kill to have Thurman and Spence representing my country.
Yeah, you're right, but we're just trying to make America great again, one fighter at a time, bro.
Oh, you're doing it. You're doing it. So that's my goal. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, David. Thank you for shedding positivity, man. Spread love, not hate. Mighty Sway, talk to us. Mighty Sway. Go on once.
Hey, yo, what's up?
What up?
Hey, so I have a question. So Spence versus Bundu, that was a mandatory?
No, that was an eliminator fight to make him the mandatory.
Oh. For who?
For whoever is going to be the owner of the IBF title come after September 10th.
So it would be Spence versus Brook, right?
If Brook does not vacate and stays at 147, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I still haven't watched the fight, so I just want to say, like, Spence, he's good, but I would like to see him fight Ghost. Like, you know how Ghost supposed to fight next weekend. So if Ghost wins that fight, I would definitely like to see that fight.
I wouldn't.
Is that a sideways? Yo, is that a sideways step though? Because we just talked about that. Yo, is Guerrero just because you know his name? Just because you know his name doesn't mean
it's world champion, multiple division. Algeria was a one division world champion from a lower division, moving up to 47. You know,
but didn't Bundu
is an older guy. Guerrero would be that, like a little bit younger than Bundu, a little more accomplished than most of the fighters. Earl Spence. I don't see that as a bet. Listen, these are developmental. The kid's 21-0, man.
Yo, but couldn't you say though that Bundu did better than Guerrero in the Thurman fight?
Did Bundu? Why? Because he got beat up less? Because he fucking was on.
Hell yeah, he got beat up less. Exactly.
We're jacking calls here. Go ahead, Mighty Sway.
Nah, bro, it's all good. But yeah, even Aaron Martinez, that'd be a good, fight for Spence too.
Now you're digging in the well, bro. Aaron Martinez will get pulverized with Spence.
All right, bro. It's all good, bro. Go to the next caller.
All right, Mighty Sway. Thanks for calling in. We're gonna go back out to the phone lines. We got New York City 347.
That's what's happening. It's Paul Yearwood, man.
Paul, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, James? All right.
Paul.
Hey,
Paul.
Errol Spence out tonight.
Hey, Paul. Don't be making no plans for that that Liam Smith fight. We going halfsies on that.
Halfsies is good. That works for me. That works.
We're gonna invite a couple more people, man. We're gonna invite a couple more people, so we only gotta pay like $5 each to watch that good TV boxing.
Bring it, yeah. Bring that price down a little bit. Yeah, that works. That works for me, man. That works for me. No full price for no Canelo Liam Smith. That's cool. But excuse me, Errol Spence looked sensational today. He was showing out. Basically, I feel like Kell Brook's not gonna come back down after he loses to Triple G. So we might get, a sidestep on this next one. We may get the fight that people are not going to be so happy about in the next fight. I'm just saying I see that coming. So I would love to see. The guy said Robert the Ghost Guerrero. That's probably the best name that's not available to me, in my opinion. I kind of started listening later. I don't know if you got any questions, but that's my call if it's on drive by, man. Y'all have a good one. Errol, the Spence.
What you think of Big Baby Miller, Paul? What you think of Big Baby Miller?
I did see that fight. I didn't see all the fights before it. I kind of fast forwarded straight to the main event. But Big Baby, he definitely he looked good in spots. I think Cassie was kind of catching him in the second round. And I don't know what happened to his hand really, but he obviously he couldn't continue, and only the fighter knows how bad things are. So I like Big Baby Miller, but to me he gets hit a lot. You know, he does get hit with some shit, and in the heavyweight division, if you're gonna get hit with some, you may be sleeping. You know what I mean? A Chris Arreola fight, a Bermain Stavern fight will be great to see before any step-ups to the Joshuas, Wilders, Furies, all that stuff. That he got a nice mouth on him. He got a nice mouthpiece. He's calling out all the guys, but I would like to see him against a bigger test. Ooh, Joseph Parker, something like that. Who's the guy that beat Chris Arreola's butt before Deontay did it? What's that dude's name? But he lost, though. He lost.
Oh, Travis Kaufman. Travis Kaufman?
There you go, Kaufman. I would love to see that.
I think Kaufman's actually going to be in action on the Daniel Jacobs card in PA. I'll be covering that. If anybody's going to be in the Pennsylvania area, you're going to check out Daniel Jacobs and Sergio Mora. I know it's not the best fight, but it is in a tri-state, so I'm going to go ahead and cover it. And Daniel Jacobs will eventually be fighting Gennady Golovkin. So, listen, Paul, I'm going to dip out, get to some other callers, man. Thank you, as always, for calling in, and can't wait to get that pay-per-view with you. We're going to go back out, I believe, to Texas, right? 214 is Texas, isn't it, James? 214, you're up.
Yeah. Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, what's going on?
What up?
First-time caller.
Do you know the rules?
Hey, I wanted to say about
whoa. Guess you don't.
Oh, yeah.
You know first-time callers got to...
This is my
First-time callers got to...
Yeah.
They got to introduce themselves. So how long have you been listening, sir?
That's my first day listening, man. I'm mad I'm late on it, though.
Oh, man, that's awesome and kind of shocking in the same way. So what we do around here is we have a first-time caller intro for all our first-time callers. So since you are that, I'm going to play this intro, then you introduce yourself, right? What we like to do is have people assume they're like, not assume, but imagine they're in their ring walk, right? They're on their way to the ring for the big fight. So you got yourself ready for this, right?
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
This is Derek, the Shoe Shine, Washington, from Dallas, Texas, representing Triple D. Also, big fan of Errol Spence, man. And I just want to get straight to it. With Errol Spence, I hear a lot of people complaining about his head movement. He doesn't have to. He has head movement. I see him duck his shots all the time. Another thing I see him doing, which a lot of the great boxers or some of the best boxers are doing, like the Mayweathers and the Andre Wards, is he's blocking those shots. He's seeing those shots coming. He's seeing the sets. He's seeing the setups. He's seeing them coming at him, and he's hitting them before it even gets there. And a lot of people say he hasn't passed the chin test. I seen Bundu. He caught Spence more than a few times in that fight. More than a few. And a couple of fights ago, he also got caught with a couple of big ones in that one. Got wobbled a bit. I don't know if I remember the fight. I forget his name, but he got wobbled and came back strong. He has that same, he pounces on him, something like the Gennady Golovkin. But I've been watching Golovkin too, man, and that fool, he's not as sharp as a lot of people wants to perceive him to be. I don't know what the big hype is about him, to be honest with you. I watched a couple of his fights, the fight against him and Willie Monroe. Hello?
Yeah, we here. We giving you the floor. You watched the fight with him and Willie Monroe.
Yeah, with him and Willie Monroe. Willie Monroe, he had movement. He was ducking plenty of shots. He made Golovkin look sloppy. So I don't, man. Spence is the truth, man. I see him if Kell Brook actually goes up in it, if he chooses to come back down, Spence is going to destroy him. But I don't see him, honestly, I don't see him coming back down. I see him, that last fight, I think that was just an excuse. He couldn't catch weight. It's getting harder for him to move back down to the 147. I don't see him doing it, but if it does happen, Spence will destroy him. I promise you that, with those body blows. And the last guy, he had a point there. I wasn't thinking about the Ghost, but that'd be the perfect one for him to kind of set the stage for that Thurman fight, for the build-up. for that build-up. That's going to be perfect for him. It's going to make Spence look even better than it's going to make Spence look even better, because Spence has basic fundamentals that a lot of up-and-coming boxers don't have. He's solid to the core. He stands firm. That's one of his problems, though. A lot of the boxers now, they're kind of loose. And you notice with Spence, he can afford to do that, though, I guess, because he has that great timing. But at the same time, sometimes I think he needs to get a little bit loose. But, I think he's going to give the fans what they want to see, because he's going to stand in the pocket with whoever, whenever, and wherever. And that's just a Dallas mentality. I don't know if y'all know, but we box down here. But y'all probably should know now. But, yeah, man, I definitely think he's the truth. And another point I wanted to touch on was with the Danny Garcia. Like, the disrespect from that dude, man. I like Danny a lot, man. Like, that last fight, he showed he has the moves. And I think, matter of fact, Garcia versus Spence will be a good one. Danny Garcia, he hits people with awkward angles. He has those awkward angles that a lot of people don't come with. He has that, and I think that's going to be a good fight. I think that would be a good fight. But I definitely want to see, just for the shit talking that Thurman's been putting up, his whole arrogant little nature, whatever, I want to see Spence destroy him, though, at the same time.
Well, brother, I want to thank you for calling in all the way from Texas, supporting Errol Spence, bigging up Danny Garcia. Man, thank you for calling in. Thank you for being a first-time caller today at that. I hope that you're going to continue to tune in. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel right up here on the top left. And you could also subscribe to the podcast in the info description below. And you can subscribe on TuneIn there or iTunes to always stay up to date. We're going to go back to Florida. Looks like Orlando, 407. Talk to us.
What's up, man? That's it? You on it?
407, Orlando. Going once, 407. Later. 718, Marlon from New York City. Talk to me.
Yo, Ness, what's good, baby?
What's up? What's up?
Let me tell you, man. I was at the fight live, man. I had really good seats, man. I'm telling you, man. Errol Spence steamrolls 99% of everybody in the welterweight division, man. You got one guy in the welterweight division, I think that will give Spence his hardest fight, and that's Porter, because I think Porter is thinking edge Thurman, But other than that, he steamrolls everybody. Every single body in that division is food for Spence, man. And that's the truth. That's the truth of it all, man. I mean, homeboy is the beast. That right jab to the body, man. That was killing Bundu, man. Bundu was just like, he was just getting gas from that punch, man. Anyway, man, listen, I saw them two girls fight, Hardy and Vincent. Man, if you guys didn't see that fight yet, man, let me tell you, man, that was a scrap, man. That was a good fight, man. Those girls came to, they closed the show, man. I don't know if you guys saw it live, but I don't know if they
we didn't.
It's a spoiler alert. You guys say spoiler alert before shit like that.
Hey, Marlon, we didn't, so don't ruin it. We're watching this. We're doing this.
All right, good, man. You guys in for a treat, man. That's all I got, man. Listen, some people, they got that fantasy fight with Crawford versus Spence, man. Don't bring up that name, man. You can't bring up anybody below 154 that could really, really beat Spence. Crawford is a dream, and that's it for people who's just wishing for Crawford to get a big win at 47. You understand what I'm saying? There's no way that fight is competitive, man. Spence will put him down, man. That's man down 100%. That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
All right, Marlon. Thank you for calling. 717, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from? 717, first time caller?
Yeah, it's me.
Who is it?
Mango Man.
Who?
Mango Man.
What's up, brother? Talk to us.
Hey, man, I'm calling. I've been watching your show for a while, though. You know, this is my first time calling. But talking about Spence.
Wait a minute.
He's
This is
the
your
real
first
deal,
time.
man.
Whoa. Your first time caller. You know what time? You know what time it is. We got to give you an intro, and you got to introduce yourself. All right.
Okay.
All right. How long you been listening?
I've been listening for like 15, 20 minutes, but I've been like, I watch all the time on YouTube.
Yeah. I meant like long term. How long you been listening? All right, and you found this on YouTube. All right, so I'm gonna play this intro, and then I want you to just go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and
2 years.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this intro. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut,
Angel Santana from Pennsylvania, Harrisburg.
What's up, Angel? Talk to us.
Hey, man, Spence is the truth. There's no reason he should fight Guerrero. That's not going to do anything for him. To me, he's the best fighter out there at 147. They should just put a fight with him and Broner, and he'll steamroll, over Broner. So I think that's a waste of time if they put him with Guerrero, because that's not going to mean anything. Because right now, the 147, it's empty right now because none of these fighters hasn't proven anything. Like Keith Thurman, what's the other guy's name? Danny Garcia. He hasn't done anything. Those guys need to be fighting each other. And I think Spencer, what's his name there? I'm kind of nervous right now, but the thing is, Spence is the truth, man.
Well, all right, brother. Hey, did you happen to catch Big Baby Miller on Showbox?
No, I have heard about that guy. I looked on the cable for the fight. I couldn't watch it, but I got all my info from you guys. But the thing is, Errol Spence is the truth, man, and he needs to be fighting someone like Adrian Broner. And I don't think that's not even gonna prove anything because he'll steamroll over him, Danny, Keith, Porter. There's no competition at 147 for this kid. That's my opinion.
Well, brother, I want to thank you for calling in. Great call, 717. That is our new caller, Angel. Angel, man, I hope that you continue to join us here at Theboxingvoice.
Join us every Thursday and Sunday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
We're going to head back out to New York City. 718, you're up. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, man? This is A from Brooklyn.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Ain't not much, man. It's my first time calling. Actually, my first time listening as well.
Hey, man, we got to introduce you, man. Listen, everybody listening out there, this is your first time calling. You got to immediately let us know you're a first time caller. Listen, we got tradition around here. We need to introduce people. We need you to come out like Adonis Creed, baby. We need that ring walk. We want you to get greasy on the ring. You ready?
ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut,
from the blue corner, from Brooklyn, New York. A, nice to be here, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here with us, man. Talk to us. What did you think of Errol Spence? Is that statement made? Did he make a statement?
Errol Spence is a monster, and I don't really think anybody got anything from him. And I'm kind of disappointed in him for calling out Kell Brook. I think everybody want to see that Keith Thurman fight. Keith Thurman been ducking him for a while.
Yeah, that is the fight that everybody wanted, but he wants that belt, man. He got to get that belt to make Keith Thurman want to fight him. You know, Keith Thurman will keep saying Errol ain't do nothing if he don't got a belt.
It's a jam-packed division. The belt right now, I don't think Kell Brook, after that Triple G fight, he's going to be damaged goods. Everybody knows it. So I don't think he's going to be ready to fight Errol Spence, and I don't think that's going to look good on Errol Spence's resume. I think it's a jam-packed division, and the fights that the people want to see, the people should see. Keith Thurman been ducking Errol Spence. He say he not ready. Errol Spence is too young. I forgot what undercard he was supposed to fight Keith Thurman. He didn't want to fight. Now Errol Spence is a household name, everybody knowing, there's no reason to duck him now. The fight got to happen.
Well, all right, brother. I'm going to get to some other callers. Thank you for calling in. We hope that you continue to be a caller here on the Boxing Voice. And you're right about that, man. With NBC opening up this slot right after the basketball Olympics and allowing boxing to get in there for 1 hour, Errol Spence had the opportunity to be witnessed by millions and millions of people. Let's see how the numbers translate. Let's see how popular this guy gets with this, because as you've seen, they kept repeating his story on loop on NBC after the fight was over. And that's obviously credit to Errol Spence for getting a knockout and leaving that dead air there so that they can obviously, you know, keep playing his highlight reels and the conversations that they had about him so that they can, you know, spread the word of who Errol Spence is. We're going to go back out to these phone lines. We got 804. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
You know this is Corey Emery, man. Come on, man. What the fuck, man?
Corey, I got no producer today, baby. You gotta love me, man.
When you see 804, you see Corey. Don't even think nothing else. You see Corey. 804 means Corey. I'm in the heart of Richmond, Virginia. The heart. Yeah. So back to Errol Spence, though, man. The guy's a beast. Hell no, Errol Spence won't beat Danny Garcia. Fuck no. It's VSG, baby. And I'm just a loyal fan, you know what I'm saying? I'm not because I've picked against Danny before, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I haven't picked against Danny, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, what it is when Danny fought Lucas Matisse, which wasn't damaged good because he didn't fight anybody that beat him up until that point. See, Errol Spence hasn't had that Lucas Matisse fight. Danny has, and I don't give a fuck what weight class you're talking about. Anytime you walk in a pay-per-view fight and you're the underdog and you come out on top, nigga, that nigga need respect. Put some respect on Danny Garcia's name, you pussy.
Yo, but don't act like Danny Garcia was the headliner of that pay-per-view fight. He was on the undercard of Mayweather and Canelo. So don't talk about him deriving the pay-per-view.
Yup, and he stole the show. Which fight was better? The Canelo fight or the fucking Danny Garcia fight? Which fight was better? Which was more entertaining? Fucking Danny Garcia's mouthpiece came flying out his mouth. Sit down. I know my boxing. Fall back. Yeah. Back to you though, Ness. I'm saying Errol Spence, he's gonna be the IBF champion of the world, but there's 4 other champions and a tough champion. Everybody's sleeping on Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman has it. Keith Thurman has it too. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, these champions are gonna have to fight each other one day, very soon. I pray to God that it happens sooner than later. But knowing Al Heyman and knowing these fighters, they're all acting like they're A-class fighters, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? And fucking Terrence Crawford already wants to bark at Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia beat Terrence Crawford already. Yeah, he beat him already. Yeah. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody wants to give fucking Danny Garcia no credit. This show ain't about Danny Garcia, but he's in that fucking weight class. So his name needs to be brought up. All you motherfuckers that got Danny Garcia's name in your mouth and you're talking crazy about him, know that he was the underdog in more fights than he fucking when he was a champion. He was an underdog in about 3 out of like 5 or 6 fights. Kamal Peterson was supposed to beat him.
Cut it.
Damn, Ness, look how big our show got. We got Danny Garcia's first cousin calling in, defending him. This is so badass. I love it.
Corey from VA, don't take it personal, baby. 3-minute time warning. 832, we talking to you. Who's this? Where you calling from? 832, going once. $516, you're up.
First time caller.
That's what I'm talking about. How long you been listening?
when you introduce me, you're gonna realize. Let me do the intro.
So we got a prank caller, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen,
no, it's not a
making his
prank.
professional debut.
Go ahead.
Fighting out of wherever you're from.
Hello? Yeah. The undisputed, one of the originators of boxing podcast, Jesse Regan. What up, Ness?
Jesse Regan, what's going on, brother?
Yo, man, what you did with this show is amazing, bro.
Thank you.
Amazing,
man.
Yo, can I shout out my boy Ralphie but yo, man, that's incredible what you did with the show, for real. Always love you, man. I appreciate the advice you gave me. I appreciate meeting up with you a couple times. Errol Spence is overrated. I said it, bro.
Oh!
There would never be. I said it. I said it, man. The last caller nailed it right on the head, man. That there's not going to be. Well, first of all, there's not going to be another Mayweather. I think everybody's expecting another Mayweather. That's not going to happen again. Nobody's going to reach 49-0-0 again. It's not going to happen. There's going to be a couple of losses. So everybody's going to take some defeat. Errol Spence loses to Danny Garcia, though. And on what the other caller was saying about Danny, it's kind of so true. Like, Danny he had to face Lucas Matisse. Nobody thought he was going to beat him. He had to face Amir Khan. Nobody thought he was going to beat him. And, so a couple like ones like Robert Guerrero and Berto, yeah, give it to him. Fine. Because he already proved himself. So he could have a couple slept on matches, yo. And, me and my boy Raphael, like I said, he listens to your show every day. That's why I want to shout him out. Because I know when he hears it tomorrow, he's gonna be like, oh, shit, man, you mentioned my name. So
shout out to Raphael then, man. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, man. So that's what I got to say about that, man. And, bro, you still owe me a T-shirt, bro.
We gotta meet up, man. I've been bringing some with me too. I've been bringing some with me to the press conferences. I've been giving them out. I've been bringing like 2 every time I go now. So definitely, if I see you at the next presser.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna start the show with Nate Campbell now too, bro. So I would love to have you on as one of the first people on, if you could.
Definitely, man. You got my number. Jesse, hit me up, brother. I'm going to get to some other callers, man. Thank you for calling in. Definitely hit me up, man. I'm willing to do that all day. We're going to go back to Texas, 214. Damn, a lot of Texas today, baby. Texas. He's got
that motorcycle is what he's got. He's got that Kawasaki Ninja.
214. Yo, they probably doing like burnouts and shit in the name of Errol Spence in Texas over there. It's like a bonfire somewhere in Texas.
They're firing the guns off in the air is what they're doing right now.
In the name of Corey. Yeah. 214, you're up. This is another 214, by the way. 214.
Yo, this is Class and Bound. What's going on?
Class and Bound, what up? Yo, you involved in that?
Yo, hey.
You involved in that and all them donuts they doing over there in Texas?
Yo, is this a Rough Rider video? What's going on here, bro?
That's not till Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but let's talk about this. Honestly, I want to say I'm honestly more impressed with this fight than I was with the Chris Algieri fight, mostly because I think Errol Spence took his time with this. Like, he wasn't like trying to rush in like he was with Chris Algieri, where he didn't respect Chris Algieri's power, so he was willing to take some shots in order to throw some of his own. He took his time with Leonard Bundu. Like, at first, like, he'd land a couple of jabs, bring it to the body like he always done. like he always does. I feel like that's a lost art, attacking the body, and Errol Spence does it really well. But to me, what impressed me the most was the composure he had against someone who has been around the block, who has tons of experience. We see that sometimes play a factor against these younger fighters where they sometimes can't handle the experience. But Spence handled it like he couldn't have done any better. He did absolutely everything well. And I'm going to say this right now. Errol Spence will be a world champion regardless of what happens with Kell Brook, because Kell Brook is going to get hurt by Triple G, or he's going to vacate because he's not going to be able to make 147 after this fight with Triple G, or at least I don't think. Either way, Errol Spence is going home with that title. Like, you can mark my words for that.
All right, Class and Bound, that's all you got for us? You got about a couple seconds?
I mean, no, that's it.
What
Congratulations to Shakur Stevenson and
Clarissa
dang
Shields.
It. Her name's on the tip of my tongue.
Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Hey, Class and Bound, what about Gerald Miller?
Yeah,
Did you catch Gerald Miller on Showbox, Big Baby?
Who?
Gerald Miller, Big Baby.
Oh, Gerald. Oh, yeah. Fred Cassidy got his hand broken.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, he calls out the proper names, so I guess that's right, but I don't think he's going to get a shot at them anytime in the future. So we'll just keep seeing if he can maybe make some noise with these. Maybe he beats up a Mansour or I don't know, some other fringe contender, and we go from there. But that's all I've got for you guys. Great show.
All right, Class and Bound, thank you very much for calling in.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Extremely important, ladies and gentlemen. Helps with the visibility of the show. It helps us get new callers like you got today. If you hear this intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
You know what time it is. That means a new character, a new caller, someone else that can give you some more boxing knowledge, insight, and or learn or teach you something, right? So I want to thank everyone that participated. Give yourselves a round of applause because we definitely have reached about 258 likes, so that is amazing. We really wanted to get to 1,000, so whatever, maybe next time. But we do have a couple of on-demand shows coming up, so remember to subscribe to us right here. And if you want to take us on the go, you want to do your workout with us, the info link is in the bottom, and you can subscribe to our iTunes, TuneIn, and even Stitcher. You know, always available and accessible. I am your host, NesGTO. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you're into fitness, because I'm super into fitness. I only do calisthenics. Get these weight loss gains with the kid. I'm looking like fucking, yo, James is nervous. I'm telling you.
Yo, look at those forearms. I'm not even going to pretend that those forearms aren't something serious.
Yo,
you look like a Popeye.
Right now, I got to work out. You know what I'm saying? My shorty already worked out, but today's taco night. You never know what's going to happen. Listen, thumbs up to YouTube if you're watching. Very important. We're going to grow, baby. We're getting global. We're getting global. James, talk to him.
Yo, hit the thumbs up. Make sure that, tonight was the first night that we had people that were first-time listeners and first-time callers. If you're nervous out there, don't be nervous. We've all been there before. I was before I was on the show. Call in, make your statement. That's what we're all about. It doesn't matter if you think that if you're going to be ashamed. Yo, call in. We love our callers. Hit those thumbs up. Add me on Twitter, at Jamison Rocket, Jamison with an I, Instagram, Jamison Caesar. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to play some PlayStation. I know NBA 2K is coming out for all my 2K followers. Hit me up. We'll go and play that shit. But look at the reach that Errol Spence got. We got first-time listeners and first-time callers because Errol Spence fought on a Sunday on coming off the Olympics. Big things are happening for that gentleman. I can't wait. Good for him and good for his teams.
Word is born. Very, very, a lot of credit to Errol Spence. His name is definitely growing in the division, definitely growing in boxing. It's very important, man, that this sport continues to grow in the manner that it did. I'm glad that everybody came out. Like James said, all you first-time callers out there, man, if you're hearing this and you're nervous, don't be, because we are a family over here. We embrace you, and as you can see, this family is getting bigger. Head on over to the YouTube channel. Check out our TBV Appreciation Night. Show the love that we give and we receive. Be part of this community. Remember to like the channel, subscribe, And we will be bringing you more shows. We'll probably be back tomorrow night with the welterweight show. We got a couple of on-demands that we got to kick out. Georgie's Mafia show just got approved by the networks. It's going to be going down. Make sure you stick around because James has a pie bet, you know, with Georgie. Now I'm going to be going on pay-per-view with Georgie. You got Enrique putting up his lineal ring title. And when we say lineal, we're not talking about some make-believe shit. We're talking about the actual ring title. So if this is your first time listening, first time watching, keep watching so you can see that belt that Joey is attempting, daring to be great, right? He's putting his own version of WBC, which you can see in our appreciation video as well. Remember to tell a friend, TBV is here to stay. Listen, James, have a good night. And everybody listening, thank you so much.